I can swim. Just can't walk or dress myself. Take it easy. Take it easy.
Salute, and welcome. Welcome back to the Black Ocean. Now swimming deep in with your host, the one and only Great Black Shark. Oh, yes, family. We got to get back on these shillbillies once again here, okay? Because the thing that the shillbillies seem to have a hard time dealing with in society and the real world, they have a hard time dealing with real people out here in Black America that give their thoughts on the so-called dare I say it, the so-called Black woman, Kamala Harris. And we all know that this woman is full-blooded East Indian. A lot of people tap dance across the line and try to keep talking about her Jamaican father, who himself is a full-blooded East Indian. That man is not Jamaican, not by lineage or bloodline. He immigrated there, just like, you know what I'm saying, her parents immigrated here. So no, you're Jamaican on paper. That doesn't make you a part of Jamaican blood lineage, okay? So there's just no blackness in that woman at all. And you can clearly see that by looking at her sister and everybody else. And then when it comes to certain confused individuals, okay, like the crash out king here, Luke Campbell, or as I call him, Mr. Quarter Slide, you know, that quarter slide gap in his mouth. Running his mouth, I keep hearing this repetitive theme, and this makes people sound so unintelligent when they proceed to go down this line of thought. They keep talking about what college she went to. She went to a HBCU. She was in this sorority. That has nothing to do with if you're a foundational Black American freeman or not. It starts with your biological parents, okay? So we just gonna put that foolishness to bed every time we hear it. I know I am. I'm not the nice guy over here in these spaces. I don't care about being polite. Don't care about being liked. Don't care about being politically correct. I get straight to the heart of the matter and crush the bullshit and the BS with common sense and logic. That's how we get down over here. So tonight, what we're gonna do is continue giving the shillbillies the blues, but in a different way. We're going to be analyzing a conversation that was had in a Philadelphia barbershop full of Black men, and they were giving their thoughts on the situation with, this election here that's coming up. And it's man, look, let me tell you, time is flying by. They don't have long, and we all gonna see, and mark my words, because I'm standing on everything that I said. When it turns out that I was right on a lot of stuff I'm saying, you're gonna see a lot of people start to change their tune about a lot of stuff that they're saying here, because I get it from their point of view, and everybody's opinion is valid. But I'm counting on this. White women are gonna be white women, okay, in majority numbers. I'm not talking about the few deranged flunkies that's mostly a part of that rainbow agenda over there in the Democrat Party. I'm talking about conservative white America as a whole. They gonna do what they normally do, okay. Even the ones that's over there in that Democrat Party, the greater majority of them that's not Team Rainbow, they voting for the orange man. Trust me on that, okay? A lot of y'all like, okay, GBS, we gonna see, and we will, trust me. Then a lot of people gonna start to change their tune to start to sound like I was sounding all along, but that's okay. That's okay, because everybody has to learn. Let me tell y'all something before we get into this tonight. What I do, I study these people's pattern and their history, okay? That's what I do when I make certain statements about how things are going to go. Yes, I get it. Everybody's saying, hey, anything can happen here or there. But look, come on, man. All you got to do is just look at past history. If them white women didn't support Hillary, you really think they finna support Kamala? See, don't let all this media hype fool you that they got going around here, because all the mainstream media, the mainstream liberal media, which is most of it, oh boy, they just covering for her. They covering for that idiot every chance they can get. And I heard about this latest situation here where she's going to do on our interview, but Tim Walz got to be right beside her. You know why? Because Tim Walz is the actual brain out of that duo. They know that woman's an idiot, okay? So they're going to tack him alongside her. But to be honest with you, this is what I'm saying here, okay? Just look at this, how she came about to get to this position. Yes, we all know she's the vice president. We all know the chain of command, okay? How things go. But you remember at first, Barack Obama and Nancy Pelosi wanted to hold a primary, okay? And then a lot of people started making noise. No, don't do that. Just go ahead and give her the nomination. Okay, so they did that. And I'm going to tell you why, because I'm going to say this again. They did it to say, you know what? The best way to get rid of this heifer that we didn't want, because they looked at that when Joe Biden chose her as vice president as a mistake. I hope y'all understand how white supremacy works. Do you understand how pissed off Nancy Pelosi was about that? So what they said was, they say, you know what? She's an idiot. You give an idiot enough rope and they'll eventually take care of themselves. So they're going to get her out the way, because after it's over and she loses, it's over with. No more politics for you. You done, okay? I mean, I don't know, you know what I'm saying, if she's going to open up a mean pot of greens shop, and maybe y'all can go patronize that if you want some Bathtub Wash Greens, okay? Maybe she can sell some Bathtub Wash Greens milkshakes or something. I don't know, but it's going to be a wrap. Anyway, I digress, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody's doing well over here. I know I am. I'm in that excellent mood, okay? Excellent mood tonight, and I think we're going to have a bit of fun with this conversation. It's going to be very informative as well. So with that said, let me scroll up and greet my esteemed guests. Quite a few of you in here already. Hey, welcome to everybody. I see Seven Skills in the building. Patricia Jenkins, Scylla T, Melanated Tay, Kevin Blackwell, Tanisha Murdoch, Black Truth United. Let's see, Brett Shepard, Panther Strikers in here. 225 Girls, Stun Zed, Charlie X. Let's see, Demetrius Shepard. Let's see, Willie McKinley, Mrs. L. Salute to you and your husband. Let's see, I see, make sure I don't miss anybody. My good brother Bruce is in here. Tub Tony 77, I see you. Let's see, GB King Harris, Derek Parker, Brandon McCullough, Dad Miller TV, Only Pamela's Way. What's going on, sister? Let's see, Charles Gibson is in here. Netta J, what's up, Netta Bug? Let's see, I see, don't mention by my good brother Lee Holmes in here, Noah Randall. Let's see, down Lakeisha Morehouse. I see Angelica Lana in here. Salute to the good brother Josh Norris. I hope everything's going well with you in that endeavor, young man. I won't put your business out there, but just remember the advice that I gave you, man, and hope you take that and everything goes well with you. Let's see, who else? I see Mary Sue Settles in here. Let's see, trying to make sure I don't miss anyone. Let's see, I see, who is it? Chris MC in here. And yeah, hey, y'all, make sure you're watching. If you're a moderator, make sure you're watching that you don't hide anybody in here that, a regular. Chris MC, she's not a troll or what have you. So y'all watch your hands and stuff while y'all in here, okay? Be careful, man. Some of y'all got them big old heavy fingers. Hey, brother Seven Skills, I hope you ain't got them big back fingers, man. I'm going to use these fingers to secure lots of donuts. Boy, they mad at me for a lot of my commentary on them big backs. But hey, this is what I tell the big backs. Don't get mad at me. Prove me wrong. Get on a health plan. Get healthy, okay? That's what you do, man. I got to be careful, y'all. I'm going to have to have some security, man. Y'all know the jokes that I crack on the big backs sometimes. It's all in fun. I love everybody. I see my brother Breeze Omega over here, the Pure Film Maker, Smooth T-Mac in the house. Chris MC, I see you. Let's see, I think that's everybody. Rashawn Graham. Yeah, everybody. That's all of y'all. Salute to you, all of you in here, and anybody that will be joining us in attendance here tonight. My brother Seven Skills said, dude, you got to see how big my hands are. Uh-oh. Hey, that's good. You got them bear claw hands, man. Hey, you knock them white supremacists upside the head if you have to. Salute to good brother CRU Reality in here as well. So, family, this is what we're going to do tonight. I'm going to start things off, of course, with a little sponsor, but this is going to be along the lines of some food for thought. Got one for you that's going to make you think. And I got one for you that's going to make you laugh. Okay, a lot of people seem to like it, so I said I'm going to bring it back. But this one here, I played it before. But in light of everything that's going on with this demonic Democrat Party, I think it'll be apropos tonight to play it for you. So I'm going to play this real quick before we get started. And I want y'all to really think about what's being said, because it's done in satire, but it applies definitely to the situation with that damn demonic Democrat Party.
Celebrated. Do you know what has been my most enjoyable pride campaign to date?
No, what?
Well, my gay pride campaign, of course. Not only do I get the chance to promote your own self-destruction, I get to use God's logo, the rainbow, to do it. Love is love, right? My plan not only prevents you worthless humans from reproducing, it distorts the gender roles and allows me to bring all types of chaos and confusion upon your pathetic societies. It's been so successful. I've got men convinced they're women. Women convinced they're men. And some convinced they're no gender at all. And I've got 2 more Pride Initiative campaigns I'd like to introduce in the near future. And second is pedophilia pride. Now, society might not be ready for this one just yet, so we'll hold off.
Yeah, I know, right? Hey, tell me the Democratic Party isn't pushing anything. All of that was said that you heard there. Salute to my good brother Rashawn for the cash out. Hey, boy, they don't like it, but see, like I said, I'm not in the business of being liked. I'm in the business of making sure that my people are well informed and that they think. And yes, I'm going to be covering several other things that some of you have mentioned to me in the news cycles. I got a lot to get to, man. I'm telling you, man, it's like, look, a lot of people that are looking at those of us that are content creators that actually try to do good work in the service of the people. A lot of them understand we're busy 24/7, okay? In addition to doing other things apart from trying to get everybody useful information. So, just know that, hey, I'm going to be burning the midnight oil to get those new things addressed and point out a couple of things that, if nobody else is talking about it, I will. That's what I look for. A lot of stories and things that are somewhat overlooked. And even if other people are talking about it, I try to take it a bit further, point out some things that others might have missed. But before we get into the serious subject matter, got to put y'all in good spirits because in a way, you know what I'm saying? This is also honoring our ancestor here. He did the best he could with what he had. You know what I'm saying? I thought this was hilarious when I first heard it. A lot of you seem to think so as well. So I'm going to play this one more time. Then we're going to get straight to brass tacks here tonight.
Good morning. May I take your order, please?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Oh, it's only right to be at the Martin Luther King Drive, Biscuitville on this morning.
May I take your order?
Can I get a number 3, please, on this morning?
That's the number 3. What's your side and drink?
Let me get a hash brown and let me get orange juice with that, please.
Anything else for you today?
Oh, I had a dream last night. I want a number 4, please, on this morning.
All right, that's the number 4. What's your side and drink?
Let me get some grits with that. You gotta have grits on this beautiful Martin Luther King Day.
And what kind of drink for you today?
And let me get orange juice. You never go wrong with OJ. And I'm talking about the drink.
Anything else for you this morning?
Make sure I have grape jelly on the side, please.
No problem. Anything else for you?
Oh, that's it for me today. And I had a dream, and the dream has come true on this morning.
All right, Mr. King. It's on the 11:29.
My God, that's a lot of money. Oh, Lord.
Rest in power to our good brother, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He did everything he could in his time with the tools that he had available to him. Very courageous man, regardless of whether, as he said towards the end of his life, that he believed he led his people into a burning house. And he also talked about us getting our reparations, meaning cut the check. And the media, white America, doesn't like to talk about that speech, or they just want to talk about the I Have a Dream speech. And speaking of having dreams, I got to address this real quick, too, because I don't know who this alabastress was that called themselves trying to hop in my mentions. These alabastress OnlyFans thoughts are the worst. Let me put it to it this way, in case the helper is listening. I don't like male women at all. No, I don't. I like my women brown, brown, brown. In the words of our good brother, Dr. Martin Luther King, the alabastress to me doesn't mean a thing. You're going to have to go and find someone else that is a Buck of Beddington, but it is not me. No, it is not me. My mother told me, if she can't use your comb, don't you bring that heifer home. That's right. Listen, man. I know. Bear with me, y'all. I told you I'm in a great mood. been blessed here lately, okay? Been blessed. I hope all of you are blessed as well. And even if things are somewhat hard with you, just know that hey, every day that you're above ground, drawing a breath, you are blessed, okay? So don't be anybody that, if you're going through a real patch, you're thinking that it's not going to get better, it is, okay? That's why I try to make y'all laugh from time to time, all right? But listen, we have to let them know, man. Nobody's studying them, man. Look, before I get in this salute to a melanated taste, thank you very much for that cash out, my sister. But see, I know a lot of people, because some of you have met me, some of you haven't, but a lot of people be like, man, he don't really mean that stuff he be saying about them women. Yes, I do. Oh, no. See, y'all got to understand. Let me talk to you about my upbringing. I don't hate them, but I don't trust them no further than I can throw this planet. I'm talking about none of them. I mean, I can't be cordial or cool with you, but as far as that trying to deal with you, let me tell you something. Let's just say if I bump my head and I forgot everything that I was taught and read through our history, things that I've seen here in the South and all over the world really about how them folks act, you know what would make me come back to my senses? And I was talking to a brother about this earlier. Brothers, and I get it, grown men, black folks, black men in America, you're going to do what you want to do. I get that. So I'm not even trying to convince you of anything. I'm just speaking for me. When I saw what happened to Jonathan Majors, this man was running away from that crazed alabastress. And then they still convicted this man of a little minor charge, but nonetheless, he's running a city block. You would have thought that was part of one of the MCU movies that they were shooting, trying to get away from this crazy hell man. He was still wrong. Let me tell you something, dude. For me, I've got sense enough to say, okay, cool. That's what some of them are on, the greater majority, especially if you got two nickels to rub together. I tell you what, I just won't be nowhere around you at all. I don't have to. No more than going to public places, and then I'm going to keep my distance. I'm cool on that. I don't never know which one of you got that on your mind. So for me, I would just rather just not deal with you at all. Because see, when you get into a relationship with them, they understand that the power dynamic, a lot of brothers tend to think like, okay, you're the man in the relationship. You're going to have power in that situation. No, you don't. Now, in the system of white supremacy, because she can weaponize that whiteness and them legendary white tears, which have cost so many of our ancestors their lives. So for me, looking at the past and the present where we have videotape and they still hiding the word that they find that man gives anything. And I'm not caping for him because he was giving her the speech about Coretta Scott King. She showed you. But anyway, I digress. Yes, I will be speaking on that Cam Newton situation once I get a chance to examine that. So I just wanted to mention that briefly before we get started here tonight. A lot of people asking my thoughts on that. And, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm probably going to do that on Patreon once I get a chance to review the whole thing in context and then give my thoughts on the parts that actually matter. So that will be coming up on Patreon. But we're going to go ahead and get into what we got to talk about here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Salute to my good brother Kia Edwards for the cash out. Thank you very much. Y'all gonna find this very informative. And like I said, we'll be stopping as need be to break down certain parts here. And it's really gonna paint a picture of what's really going on out here in the streets. Again, this is from the city of Philadelphia and a brother's barbershop up there. This conversation that we're gonna be reviewing. And, it's kind of like when Don Lemon went out there to talk to people, he was somewhat shocked. But let me say this to the Democrats and your shillbillies that you paid peanuts out here. No matter how much you pay your shillbillies and no matter how much you keep telling the same lie over and over, because if y'all don't know, that's a part of that German Nazi propaganda. Tell a lie long enough, loud enough, and the people start to believe it. Well, times have changed, especially amongst my people. That's who I'm speaking for, okay? I'm not going to speak for all America. I'm speaking for my people. Foundational Black American Freedmen and all code non-ABA people. When people can see what's going on in front of their face, and then never mind seeing it, what our people are living out here, their lived experiences trying to go about their day-to-day lives as law-abiding Black citizens trying to take care of themselves and their family. None of this BS that you're talking about, this yellow rain that you're talking about, which is actually piss, my people see that for what it is, okay? And my people I'm proud of Black America because we finally, as a collective, started to have some type of self-esteem and self-respect and get us some piss-blocking shields and throw that piss right back in their faces. That's what they deserve. They've handed us benign neglect. Now we're going to hand them malevolent neglect at these polls here and make sure that if they don't come with tangibles, they get nothing at all. But I digress. We're going to go ahead and get into examining what we got to talk about here tonight. And I think everybody will find this most educational. Let's get started.
I've been through so much to get where I am today. And if you can't relate to that, why am I going to just give you my vote?
They need your vote, though. They need your vote. You a brother. They need you.
They play the brown and black card very heavy.
It's becoming more normal that we just don't want to vote anymore.
The election's today. You're going in there. What you doing?
Oh, Ray, is Kamala black? Yes or no?
Is Donald Trump a racist? Hey everybody, I'm Joel D. Smith.
And I am Evan Mack.
I tell you what, I've been in journalism a long time.
Yeah.
But usually you get like a 10-second soundbite on something, maybe 8 seconds. The best conversations I've ever had in my career have been off the air because they're real, they take time.
They're real, people are more vulnerable, more open to talk to you. And when the camera's, they don't know the camera's on, they kind of just have casual conversations.
All right, we're gonna have the camera on, but we're gonna lull them to sleep and they're gonna forget what's going on. And you think we can get some real conversations out of this?
I think we can get the real of the real of the real.
Okay, that's what we really need. And we're gonna get to some interesting stuff, maybe a little bit controversial.
Yeah.
See what you think, because we're gonna take our time. We are going off the air right now. Raymond Perez, this your place, right?
Yes, sir.
How long you been here?
Going on 6 years in November.
Okay. Is this the kind of place people can really speak their mind?
Yes.
Do you encourage that?
No holds barred.
No holds barred. Does it ever get heated? Do people get into it?
It gets escalated, but we are men in here, so I've made this culture in here to where, like, don't get that far.
Okay.
You get arguments and, loud, but that's probably about it.
All right, so let's start.
Now I'm gonna pause it real quick, and like I said, this is in the city of brotherly love. Shout out to Philadelphia. And you heard the brother's name here is Raymond Perez, so he might be an Afro-Latino brother, but nonetheless, black folks still coming there in the barbershop to get the haircut. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I guess it's just my Southern upbringing, you know what I'm saying, as a Southern Foundation of Black American Freedmen man. It kind of makes me cringe because I got to kind of take it back to the early 90s when I was a child. I was the stubborn one, okay? When it came to all this acceptance and just bringing everybody in our culture, I was on delineation before it was a thing, okay? I was the guy that, like, whether it was Vanilla Ice, Snow, MC Surge, Eminem, I was like, you don't belong over here, white boy. What you doing over here? I said it that way. Yes, I did. I was like, no, what you doing over here? I kind of gave Paul Wall a pass, you know what I'm saying? I like, all right, you know what I'm saying? I kind of listen to what you got going a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But like, when it comes to these guys like this is what I find cringy. They come in here, all right, guys, so tell me, does it kind of get heated in here? It's like you're doing interrogation trying to figure out what's going on in a black barbershop because y'all know that in most countries in America, due to just their hair type, there aren't a whole lot of white men just hanging out in black barbershops. Look, let's be honest. Where my Southern black men at? Where my Southern black men? I got to say this because, I told you, I don't give a damn about being politically correct over here. We're going to speak power and go speak it in a real way where everybody can understand. Where my Southern brothers at in here? Let me ask this question to my Southern men before we get right back to this. If we sitting in there in a black barbershop, man, day in, day out, no matter which one you go to, kicking it like we usually do, and one of them folks walking there, am I wrong to say that it just throw the vibe off? Like, hey, you ain't in no danger. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing to you. But it's like, okay, the stuff we were talking about before you came in, we got to change up the conversation. This ain't none of your damn business. And come, is it just me, brother? Sound off. Come on now, talk to me. Am I the only one? Am I the only one, or am I being too harsh? You know what I'm saying? Because they love to tell me, man, you like your content, brother, but you just too harsh with your language. Get out from over here, you little soft spot. But I'm just saying, man, what you doing up in here, man? See, I was that Southern dude. I treat them just like they treat our ancestors back during Jim Crow. What you doing here, boy? You's a sun dodger. What are you doing over here? You don't belong here, boy. You're kind of down there over the street there. Ain't no mayonnaise for you over here. Get your little pale. Listen, y'all get what I'm saying. We're going to get back to it, man. But I just had to get that off my chest, man. But, we got some Negroes doing it. I'm not talking about these brothers because, it's good that he allowed them to come in there and have this conversation. And I'm just saying that, when they come somewhere, we always suspicious of you white men because when you come in there, you can't just be comfortable. You stiff. Y'all know what I'm saying about that. you're going to catch it in his demeanor. So does it ever get kind of heated in here? Why the hell would you ask that question? Why would you care? You there to find out one thing. They talk too much. They tone deaf on things. And like I said, this is what kills me when you have a lot of them trying to emulate our culture. And then, they get to trying to argue with us. And have any of y'all heard this? I'm more black than you is. And I'm like, boy, don't you say that to me. They don't really say that down here in the South, but I'm just saying. I've heard them say it to other people in other places. I'm saying, like, y'all tolerate that? Cause like that's an insult down here. Like, hey boy, you don't know nothing about being a black man in America. But anyway, we're gonna get forth into this, and I just had to get that off my chest. I don't care if nobody don't like it. I ain't really trying to kick it with them like that. Unless we getting some business done for Black America, okay, producing justice. I don't want to be your kick it buddy. I ain't got to hang out with you like that. I'm cool with brothers, you know what I'm saying? From all over the place, but when it comes to them folks, it's very few of them I can count on one hand and I'm cool with. Some of them that I've served with because, hey, we went live for their situations and we looked out for each other. So we're cool, but rest of them, nah, it is what it is. Let's get back to it.
Conversation with something easy. LeBron or Jordan? Let's go.
You started on the wrong one.
I'm kidding, but my point is, in a barbershop, you can get anything, right?
Yeah, anything.
Okay.
Anything. That is probably the most heated argument in the shop.
I don't know where I stand on this, but we'll see where things end up. Let's get into the real reason.
Y'all, he came in there with a Jumpman shirt on. Oh, they just can't. White folks, when you come around black people, just be yourself. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. I just had to say it.
We're here. Hey, we're talking politics, I'm a politics guy, but I also like, some other things. But here's the thing. A lot of political experts think they know what's going on. We got all men in here, primarily, men of color. How much do you guys talk politics? Does it come up a lot?
Regularly.
Yeah. Are they happy with the political culture right now?
No one is.
What's wrong?
We're in a situation right now where the country is being forced to have the lesser of two evils. And I think the country as a whole is getting tired of it. We have people that are qualified to lead this country, younger, more in touch with what's going on the ground. So I think everybody's just tired.
Some people maybe just gonna say, I don't like anybody, I'm just not voting.
I hear that with a lot of the younger kids especially, where they say, I don't even want to vote. And I tell them, I'm like, just go out there and, even if you want to write in the ballot.
Right.
Do your duty.
And there's other races to vote for. It's not just the top. I know that gets all the attention.
Yeah.
Evan, what are you hearing over there with people with your crew?
Now, that's something we say in New Black Media here. We tell you to be registered to vote and definitely participate in your local politics, which matters much more than that national election to a greater extent there, okay? So definitely you should be concerned about your local politics, all right? Because a lot of people love to twist our words in these spaces. We talking about voting for the couch. We're talking about that national election until some of these jokers come with some tangible, okay? Locally, though, sheriff, your mayors, okay, city council, all of that, definitely you should have a hand in that. And see, let me give some admonition and encouragement to the younger black people, okay? I'm primarily talking to the older Gen Z class, all right? Gen Z and younger millennials, y'all have the power to change a great deal if you show up in numbers in them local elections. You can really, if y'all got on code, let me give it to you this way. I want my young black people, and I know when it comes to history, a lot of y'all don't really have the patience for that, but just bear with me, hear me, and listen to me what I'm about to say here if you're listening and you're in that age bracket, okay? Go back and think about what these old white folks did when they sat down and they were forming the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution and getting all that together. They got themselves together in a room. They didn't come out until they were on the same page, okay? Now, you just think with all this technology, information at your fingertips today, and then being in this time period with the spirit that you have that is motivated, that's one thing I'll say about the young people. I always try to encourage them. One thing about them, they may not have the experience of older people yet, but once they catch something, they've got it. And you're not going to fool them the same way twice. So if you get enough of you younger ones together that are old enough to run for city council or even mayor or whatever, you get together and enough of y'all say, okay, look, we tired of how things is going. This direction we want to go in. Okay, you go for this seat, I go for that seat, and you all support each other. These old bastards the treacherous ones in the boomer generation, they wouldn't know what to do because they count on you not showing up in them local politics. See, that's the secret. You outnumber them. It's less and less of them every 2 years, okay? I'm not saying that it wish bad on anybody. I'm just letting you know or trying to point to you the power that you do have, because I get it. We've all been young people at one point in time, and we were somewhat apathetic to these things. Like, yeah, man, whatever, I'm just going to live my life. But I say this to you young ones, you have a great opportunity here to really shift the balance of power. Just stop and think about what it would be like. Because, see, a lot of people don't really talk to the young ones this way. Sometimes you have to put that seed in a person's head and just say, hey, have you ever just thought about what it would be like if most of your city council, or at least half of it, was in your age range of demographic? That way, when you need to get something done, you can count on somebody up there that understands where things are going from your generation. And then, you just sit back and listen to what a young person says, okay? See what I'm saying? See, this is what I try to tell the Gen Xers, since we're the oldest out of the three groups, Generation X, Millennials, Gen Z. And I'm talking to my fellow Gen Xers, we must make sure we do not repeat the mistakes that the boomers made with us, putting us down, trying to hold us back. No, we must elevate those younger than us and work in synergy with them and encourage them. Because one of the things that I love to do, ladies and gentlemen, before I let this continue, I love to take a young black man or a young black woman that I see that has potential, very intelligent, can do a lot of things, but they just not sure of it yet. I love to push them across that little imaginary boundary and show them like, yes, you are fit for this. Yes, you are. And if you stumble, that's okay. That's what the experienced ones are here for, to help you, not to take over, not to talk down on you, but say, hey, young brother, young sister, here, try this next time. Take notes on this. Here, take this book. This might help you sharpen your skills. Put you with these connections, this connection over here, and just sit back and watch them flourish. Let me tell you something. I love that. I love it. Because, man, if you give these young people the game, man, they eager to run with it. They're just looking for people to tell them the truth and give them some actionable information. So that's my message to my generation. Generation is. Let's let it continue.
That you're sitting with.
You're 18, right? Yeah. So as a person that's just fresh into like being a registered voter, are you motivated by that? Do you agree with Ray? Do you think you need to be? Are you put like this? What do you feel like is the problem as far as the country goes and politicians go? Are the people too old, or are you looking for somebody different? You were the 4 years of Joe Biden's career. You were 14 years old. Yeah. So from then until now, like, where's your mindset right now?
It's the constant that I'm hearing from all my friends is we need someone who's younger, like, and knows what they're like even doing. I mean, just recently, like, Joe had to be pushed by everyone he knows to step down because, like, the amount of stuff online I see about, like, people making fun of him just because they can be like, he has dementia, or like he has so many things wrong with him, because in the debate, there's many, like, things that you could take of just him, like, looking around, not knowing what to do.
I got a question for you about the debate. Yeah. Did you watch it?
Now, before he goes into that, let me say something and speak briefly on nobility, okay? Yes, nobility. We got to talk about that word. It might be archaic, but nobility is necessary in these times nonetheless. Understand that Joe Biden wouldn't have had to be pushed out, because he was, if he had any nobility about him, because he wouldn't have never gotten to that point where he's in office with cognitive decline that we can all see. What he should have been doing is training up a younger person, a man or woman up under him, to say, okay, hey, look, I've done all I can do destroying Black America, okay, in my time, but let me go ahead and try to raise somebody else up, okay, and have them take my place so I can go be home with my grandkids and eat my ice cream and, work on this failing memory that I got, because I have no sympathy for that bastard. But I'm just saying, in general, though, that's what the elders are supposed to do. You're not supposed to be trying to get in government and die in office like a lot of them do. And many of them have. I don't need to name names because I won't disrespect the dead. But y'all know who they are, okay? In the last 10 years, we've seen the people that just, hey, I'm going to die in office and just destroying the country, okay? In that damn boomer age bracket, okay? And if you're not one of them, I'm not talking about you if you're an own cold boomer. But, man, that generation, boy, they selfish as hell, man. They tearing up things, just wrecking things as far as in the government, because they're like, hey, we ain't going to be here. And they're going to leave the mess on the three generations I named earlier, Generation X, Millennials, and Gen Z, okay? So the good thing about it is between these three generations, we have a unique opportunity in history if we get on code, each one respects the other, and it starts with my generation respecting the younger two. Yes, I'm putting the onus on my people because we're the eldest out of them. So we lead with respect with them and seek to listen to them, work with them. We can form an intellectual synergy like never seen before and change the dynamic of this country. So that's what I'm working for. And I hope that all of you will consider working for that as well. And wherever you are listening to this broadcast, let it continue.
Yes.
Or did you watch the highlights of it? You watched all of it. Do you think most people watched all of it? No, you see the highlights. And where do you get your information from? Online media, right? Right. So that's where you're getting your information from. Do you trust everything that you're getting?
Not too much, no.
No. Have you always been that way, or you kind of came to that? Let's come back over here. The economy seems to be a big topic that the political experts will tell you is going to help decide this election.
Yeah.
Is it on your mind as a business owner?
As a business owner, all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, because I see it, in my shop, how the economy plays out in the sense of like my clientele,
Are they
how
talking
busy
about
we
it?
are, they're talking about it. And also you can see the stuff going on around, less and less traffic, in the sense of financial transactions.
Yo, Ray, you from the hood though.
Yep.
So your perspective is did your political perspective shift because you're in a different income bracket than you were when you were a kid? Because a lot of that times that happens.
obviously.
You know what I mean? You start off as a Democrat because you're told as a brown skinned person to be a Democrat.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden you start putting money in your pocket. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Walking
grew
around
up-
with the Yankee fitted. You know what I mean?
I grew up in a liberal city,
So
liberal
now-
household. That was like, I always say we've been indoctrinated.
Yeah.
And and that was several generations of my family. And as I went into the military, college, had kids, became a business owner, my viewpoints completely changed. I'm more in the middle now, if anything. And I see things completely different than when I did when I was at 18, 25, 30, 35. I'm 45 now.
Do you think Democrats take your vote for granted?
Yes, they do.
Now, let me briefly say this. All of us who are definitely business owners in Black America, we not hearing what Kamala and them Democrats have to say. Oh, boy, they are anti-Black business owners, okay? Anti-business, period, but we talking about Black America. Because, see, we all know that line. Well, you all just want a handout. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Okay. It don't get no more pull yourself up by your bootstraps than being an entrepreneur and running your own business. Because I'm going to say this, for any younger person that has yet to become one, yes, you will work harder than you've ever worked for anyone, but it'll pay off more because it's all on you, okay? It makes you a more responsible adult. That's number one. Number two, it's all going to work towards your benefit instead of someone else's because you're never going to become even financially well off or wealthy working for someone else, okay? That's just not going to happen. And see, this is why I'm not for trying to tell a young person to get a job and try to stay there 20, 30 years. No. That time has passed, especially in this economy. And then as a business owner, fellas, where we at, brothers and sisters in here who are business owners, because I know I got people in here from all avenues and walks of life. When it comes to these taxes, hey, man, ain't none of us feeling that crap with these Democrats. Who knew, sir? Let me look. I'm in a different position than most, but I like having extra money in my pocket too, okay? When it comes into the area of business and things I do offline, all right? These Democrats, they are anti-business. They do, look, they don't want to see Black America stable on a middle class or upper middle class level, let alone trying to get wealthy. You know they ain't trying to have you do that. What they want to do is treat you basically like a pimp treats a whore, okay? Yeah, I'm going there. Want to keep you on a program and keep you dependent on them. See, when you think back to our young writers and icons that I encourage a lot of young Black America today to look up and find inspiration from, you look how young Fred Hampton was when he had the ideas he had. Sharp, young, bright brother, and these demonic cowards killed that brother in his sleep. Nonetheless, that was one of our best and brightest. Just think what he would have become had that not occurred or had they not been able to get to that brother that night. Because, see, that's another thing. We got to protect our people and work together out here. This is why we always talk about being on code. Being on code is not just a catchphrase. That's life or death for Black Americans. It's why we can't do the intersectional talk and we all are one human race and all that other stuff. No, because the people around us don't think that way. It would be nice and beautiful if it was that way, but it is not. And me and my people are going to deal with reality. So when it comes to, like I said, us being in a financially stable and empowered position, Democrats are not for that, okay? They look, everything, look, let me tell you something. Let's bring up some recent history. During the time of the pandemic, it is a well-known fact that Black America created the most businesses out of any other group, because when our backs are against the wall, we have that in our bloodline. And why do I say that? You think back to Jim Crow, when we couldn't go into them folks' businesses, they're like, look, Negroes, get over there and stay over there. Come your black ass over here. We're like, all right, cool. Instead of sitting there with our head in our hands and wandering around in the wilderness somewhere, we built our own towns, got our own economy popping, and we knew we had to rely on each other, okay? You still have that in your bloodline. Do you understand me? Foundational Black American freedmen, men and women. That is still here, okay? And I'm going to say it, I don't care who it make mad. We're God's children. You're not going to get rid of us. You're going to leave here before we do, white supremacists, okay? So that's what I want to remind my people on that. But listen to where they're about to go here with the line of questioning that he's being asked. I want y'all to pay attention to what they're going to say. I'm going to let this play for a good while, and then I'll give my thoughts.
I obviously feel that way because I've heard things, seen things, and experienced things through all these political races since I was 18, where they play the brown and black card very heavy all the time. And they try to get things to shift and move with things that are unimportant. You know, like I've seen like when they, you know, all the Democrats had all the African wardrobe. It was the incorrect wardrobe. Like, you didn't even ask questions. You
I remember that.
Yeah,
Did Pelosi do that too?
Yeah,
I think everybody
Pelosi,
was
yeah. And it's like, you didn't even do your homework.
Huh. But on the same respect, do you think Republicans have reached out to try to capture the black vote or the Latino vote at all?
I would say more recently, yes. In the past, no. More recently, yes. I can see that. But in the past, no.
That's your take. What's going on over there when it comes to Democrats maybe taking it off for granted for a while?
What do you feel like that? Because that, as I gotten older, like I said, I'm twice your age. So I used to grow up. It's been ingrained, and my mother and father, like, you know, you're black, you're a Democrat. That's a thing, you know, in the community. You know what I mean? But as I got older, I realized that I feel like they care more about our vote as opposed to our situations. Yeah. I don't know what it's like for a younger man. Like, what is your thought process on? Because your vote is powerful. You're one person, but that one vote carries a lot of weight, and they want your vote based on how you look. Do you feel that? Do you feel like the Democrats are taking your vote for granted?
Yes.
Why? So you say the same thing Ray say, two different generations, but why do you feel that way though?
For a long time, they've always tried to, like, it's like in Harrisburg too, tried to specifically go for like people like us all the time, because like, oh, I mean, like, you're already Democrats, like why wouldn't you not vote for us? Like, why wouldn't you? But like, it's becoming more normal that we just don't want to vote anymore because not enough is being passed or like written in to even help us as people.
Yeah, things aren't being done for us. Yeah. They just ask for our votes, but they're actually nothing being done for us. And this is going generations and generations and generations.
So I want to get into that a little bit. What do you want politicians to do for you? How much of it is stay out of my way so I can live my own life and do my thing versus the government has a role to help me get to where I want to go?
Yeah,
faster or better?
I think it's on both parts. Like, you obviously have to do the legwork and being successful in life in any degree, but our politicians, our leaders in this country definitely have a part in that too, in the sense of creating opportunities and doors for us to get through or achieve for. I was telling somebody the other day, it's something as simple as like a change that happened when Biden came into office. There was promises of a bill being passed to protect black and brown people against discriminatory stuff. Nothing was done, but as soon as somebody beat up an Asian person, there was a bill passed immediately. And I know why that happened, but it's unfair, to us as people, that you protect the Asian people in this country, but not us. And we're going through similar situations, if not worse, And for me,
so I'm gonna pause it right here because, I like the answer that the brother gave, but see, I wish they would have had somebody from the grassroots of Black America in there saying, listen, I'm glad you asked that question, because when it comes to those of us that are foundational Black American freedmen, we want our reparations. Oh, yeah, I would have hit him with it, family. I would have hit him with it. I would have loved to see the look on his face when he said that, because I saw what he tried to do. You just want the government to stay out of your way? Do you feel they have a role in helping you get where you want to go? I'm like, yeah, it's two-part. Okay, it's two-part because just like everybody else, the average black person or average American doesn't go around building their own infrastructure in the country because, yes, that's the government's function to take care of all of that. However, when it comes to our group in particular, Foundational Black American Freedmen, we're owed those reparations. And then, see, and I get it because this brother here, his last name's Perez, so he's probably Afro-Latino. And you know what I'm saying? Up in Philadelphia, there's a lot of that up there, what have you. But I got to go here. And, salute to our brother. That's a barber there. But there is no black and brown, okay? That's something that all of us over here that are Foundational Black American Freedmen, and let me make sure I articulate this the right way. We're saying that black and brown has to stop because there are no brown classified as white politicians talking about black and brown or brown and black. That's just not happening, okay? We cannot just look at it because we're cordial with some of you, okay, or because we got friends here, there, and then the other one. Well, we party together. Partying together don't have nothing to do with business. This is business, political business we're talking about. This isn't about having a good time and kicking it, okay? So that political black and brown term, until we see some reciprocation, I'm telling everybody, we must be vehemently opposed to that. Because I would have told him with respect, I would say, listen, man, what makes you think that every time you talk about black people, you got to put brown on it? Okay, and I get that the barber did that there because, chances are one of his parents is black, one is probably Hispanic, okay? So you can't help who your parents are, where you're born from. But that's the thing that kind of puts some of us who are not Hispanic in any way or another. It kind of make some who are, from a Hispanic parent and a black parent, that kind of make them feel some kind of way when they hear brothers like myself saying there's no black and brown. But I gave the reasons why. It's nothing personal. This is business. Okay? I don't have to hate you. I ain't got to talk crazy about you as long as you're not disrespecting my people. But when it comes to business, no, we cannot afford to do that. We've done that too many times. And then as a collective, we're not talking about individuals. As a collective, everybody that we do that for, they turn their backs on us and stab us in the back, okay? They stab us in the back politically. So we can't do that. And see, we got to keep dealing with this same thing here. The greater majority of the so-called brown people identify with them folks. All you have to do is look at how they vote, and you can tell what they identify as on paper. Okay, so that's where we got some work to do with that, to continue to tighten up on that black and brown term. And this is one reason why we say when it comes to people from dual allegiances, dual parentage and background, we really got to be careful about having folks represent us like that because, they can't help who they are genetically. And there's nothing wrong with them at all in that aspect. But when it comes to representing our interests, we can't keep doing that. Okay, look, let me be blunt with this. When it comes to the so-called non-existent black and brown alliance, that's the black and brown alliance basically for the last few decades has been, okay, it's a black and brown alliance if the brown classified as white people get all the resources and the black people go out here and do all the work and get nothing at all. No, that is not a partnership. That's exploitation. No, we're not going to have that. It's going to have to move from exploitation to reciprocation if you want there to be any kind of a black and brown alliance. And that's not something I'm holding out my breath for. And quite frankly, my people, we all we need. We don't need other groups to be latched on to us or us to latch on to them. Everybody pull your own weight. And when you say something like that, a lot of times people get mad. But hey, that shows something about a character flaw. If somebody gets mad about saying, hey, no, go over there and pull your own weight. Don't pull our own weight. I mean, just think about that for a second, because a lot of them try to gaslight and start talking about somebody hating somebody. No, asking you to do your fair share on your own isn't hating you. I want the best for you. I want it for you over there, though. Let it continue.
It made me feel some type of way.
Well, so you're educated, brother, man. One of the things that bothered me when I went back to school is repaying the school. You know what I mean? Like I know so many people I know overseas where they get to go to school and it's all paid for. They don't deal with that kind of stress. You as a young brother trying to educate yourself, trying to become a better professional. What do you feel like Democrats have lived up to that promise of like the student debt, the loan forgiveness? How do you feel like that? Does that drive you or motivate you on where you're going to vote?
No. No. Because at the same time, as a black man, I still feel like I have to pave my own way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I got to get out here. I got to work. I have to put myself out there to be successful for myself.
So you don't feel, even in this day and age, do you feel like you're in a better space as a black man than yesteryear? You know what I mean? I know you're younger, but you still see what's going on. What's it like? Because going to university still, do you feel like you're still marginalized? Do you feel like you're getting on equal footing? What's that like being someone that's trying to educate themselves?
I'm gonna pause it before the young brother gives his answer, because as you see, the way he's talking to this brother, he's actually thinking about what he's gonna say. He's speaking honest. Okay, this isn't a bunch of shields they're talking to. This is average everyday brothers. Okay, let me say something to you, Democrat shillbillies. Okay, in that Democrat Party and the Republicans that might be listening. Our experience in this country as black people, okay, foundation of Black American freedmen, and specifically as black men, we don't get social programs like that. Unless it's for athletics and it's a scholarship, we can't get all these programs that they give some of our women. And look, I'm not knocking that. The sisters need to get everything that they can get. I think the only problem with that is with some of the sisters that get access to this stuff, they let that go to their heads and they make them themselves think that they're separate and apart from the rest of Black America. You kind of, like Vivica Fox and the Fox Soul Crew. And when Ice Cube said, aren't black women a part of Black America? No, that's not true. Now look at her now running around here trying to tell her, I'm ready to get married. Like, to who? Ain't nobody finna deal with that battle. Actually aged out, baby. But anyway, conversation for another day. My point is this. The black man, let me talk to all black men in this chat room right now, especially of my lineage, and you non-FBA brothers that are on code. I'm talking primarily to my lineage. Let me say something. I don't care whether you're an older black man or you're a younger black man in your early teens and 20s. You, of all men in this country, okay, in the United States of America, have the right to walk around with your head high and your chest poked out, because when we get something, it is out of the mud, the hard way. We don't have help. If we don't put it together ourselves, we just ain't gonna have it, okay? So you, fellow black men that I'm talking to, the accomplishments of your hand and the accomplishments of your mental capacity, you damn right you got a reason to pop your collar and brag about that. Because the rest of these groups, they get all kinds of tangibles and help that we don't get. This is why we have to fight so hard as black men in this country to protect what we have, okay? So yeah, I had to say that. There's no other group of men in this country like us. And then on top of that, it would be one thing if they just said, hey, look, niggers, we ain't gonna help you. We'll throw something to you women every now and again, but you got to get out of the mud. Okay, cool. We would be all right with that if you didn't turn around and try to sabotage us on top of that. Can you imagine that? See, sometimes, brothers, I get it. We're so beat down in this country by this system that, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we don't stand up and look at ourselves like, damn, this is some remarkable shit. You think about it. For you to get up every day as a black American man and succeed in spite of all the things being done to you that you don't even know about. See, you think about this, okay? And I want y'all to hear what I'm saying. When you get up every day trying to do whatever you're going to do with your business that you started from the ground up, whether you inherited it or not, okay? You got people you never met working to sabotage you, like the Turkey Leg Hut and other situations we seen, Redstone Firearms. I could go on and on. Probably some of you brothers and sisters here in this chat room, okay? So as a black man, when you succeed in spite of all that, man, who gonna tell us something? You damn right I'm saying it like that. What you gonna tell me? When I see these other groups of people telling me how hard they got, I know you don't. Try being a black man in America for a day. Even when we start legitimate businesses and institutions. Look at our good brother Tariq Nasheed over there in Los Angeles. Legitimate institution, museum over there, can't get no type of funding for that, no grants. Now the rest of these places over here that don't even do half of that for the community, they get all kinds of money thrown at them. Huh? But see, we know in order for us, this is what they're trying to do to kill masculinity, my brothers. They're trying to tell us, well, niggers, if you want some tangibles, you can get it. You just got to come on over here and meet your new wardrobe stylist, Mr. Billy Porter. Now, we porterize you. We'll throw all kinds of checks at you. And I'm like, listen, man, if that's what I got to do to get funding, you can take that check and shove it down your damn throat. Get out my face with that. That's not going to happen, okay? Some of us are built for it. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just letting these weak bastards know. And my message, especially to young black men, is to let you know this. There is no other group of men capable of competing with you on an even playing field. We outshine them all. You know why? Because, see, let me tell you something. I get it. It's unfair for us. It definitely is. But you think about how much better that makes you when you have to overcome the cheating and you still win. That terrifies your competition, black man. Do you understand? That terrifies them because they look at it. Here's why it scares them in case you don't get it yet. They look at that and say, damn, if somebody had did that to me, there's no way I would survive. I would be done. So that's my message to all my brothers in this chat room. And we just getting started with that because, see, they can't suppress us forever. Oh, yes, because, see, one of the main stumbling blocks that they had, and I'm not saying this to demean or belittle or gender bang on our sisters, they had a good portion of our sisters just, permanently over there with the vote blue no matter who crowd. Okay, but now a lot of these sisters are saying, wait a minute, no, we kind of see what these brothers been talking about. We gonna come together and do what's necessary for the whole of the community. It's game over then because when we're united, black men and black women together, there's not a damn thing we can't accomplish. You understand me? That's where I'm coming at it from. I understand the realistic problems we have in America today, but what I'm also saying is when we get on code, we stand a better chance of mitigating and eradicating those problems together as a unit. So that's what I want to put on y'all minds here. Let's get back to it.
I feel like I have a lot of opportunities than to see people that came before me. Like there's a lot I can do opposed to generations down my line that came before me. But when it comes to politics, Democrat and Republican, I grew up in a household where my dad is like, I don't like Republicans, you're a Democrat.
Absolutely right.
So I've abstained from politics. I don't care to vote. I don't want to vote because and I see it on the media, I see it online. It's very hostile.
Like to the point where we're separating ourselves because of our opinions and beliefs in a political system or someone we may like. So automatically, if you vote for Biden or you support Biden, you're a bad person. If you do it for Trump, it's a bad person, and it creates an atmosphere for them.
Or if you vote for Trump, you automatically racist.
You automatically racist.
Off top.
And it's crazy. It's crazy to think like that, you know. Just for me.
Here, does that turn into that? I mean.
So let me speak to that briefly, Will. First and foremost, and see, look, and no disrespect to these brothers that are in here because, you know, they're not out here on the black grassroots like that. They're just everyday brothers. And this is an organic conversation. So it's good that it took place. But see, had there been any one of us from the black grassroots in there, you already know. And I would have been cordial with them, wouldn't have cursed them out or nothing like that. What I would have told them was, there's no such thing as a black person with the power to be racist. That's prejudice plus power. We have a lot of black people today that still think that we can do that. And every time I come across that, I ask them, brother, sister, with what power do you have as a black man or a woman in this country to oppress or deprive anybody of resources based on the color of their skin? Show me what system you have in place to do that. It doesn't exist. So I'm tight when it comes to that kind of stuff. Okay, I'm tight when it comes to that. I'm very precise when I hear my people using that incorrect terminology because you don't have no power to oppress no other group in this country. We don't. Okay, we don't. Not individually or as a collective. We really don't. Now, other thing I want to deal with here. This is my messaging over here on my platform and any other platform that I go to that you've heard me speak on. When it comes to being a man, a black man, I am completely unapologetic about doing things that's in the best interest and empowerment of my community. I refuse to apologize for that. Because that's our natural place as men to stand up and lead. And when we do that, our women follow. Okay? Good, bad, right, wrong, and different. You can look at anything that black men have done. Sooner or later, it's going to be a group of women that's going to follow us into that. Okay? Now we're moving into a time period where we're saying, you're not going to bully us. Because first and foremost, when it comes to me, let me tell you something about me. Boy, I tell y'all, Sigmas are built different. Yes, Sigma males are built different. You can't bully us into a damn thing, okay? That's the worst thing you can do is try to bully somebody with my type of archetype, okay? My personality type. Oh, no, that's not going to work. Because I'm up first and foremost, I'm like, who the hell do you think you're talking to? And number two, what makes you think that you trying to gaslight or shame me is going to make me kowtow and bow down to you and just do whatever you say against my own best interest and that of my people. That's where I'm at with it. So all that name calling, all that foolishness, yeah, you can jump up and down and do a rain dance and call me everything but a child of God. But at the end of the day, I'm all about making a declaration. And when I say I'm going this way, that's the way I'm going. Now, you can try to stand in my way, but you'll get rolled over, okay? That's what's going to happen, all right? When we're on our way to empowerment, that's where we need to think, okay? It's time out for that. Well, we get you next time, or, ooh, we ain't got it, and all this. Then we got illegal aliens coming in here getting zero down payments on home loans and everything. With it just leapfrogging us, getting tangibles that they don't even give veterans. You know what I'm saying? And white America, I'm talking to you too, because see, with that situation that I reviewed on my last broadcast, notice how quiet them folks is about that. Boy, that's how you know they on some white supremacy and anti-black racism, because as soon as if you talk about doing something like that for black people, oh boy, they just come out in droves. Oh, they got the Ed Blooms trying to sue to stop everything. Where's Ed Bloom to sue for that? That over there in California and up there in Oregon. That's discrimination against American citizens, no less. Y'all better understand that when I say that the Democratic administration that's in office now, the Biden-Harris administration, has committed treason towards the whole of America, I'm not being hyperbolic. I mean that. Let's let it continue.
Because here's the thing. We got a real conversation going right now. Yeah. It's beyond just like you're wearing a red hat that says MAGA on it, and I think I know everything about you, versus, someone who might vote in the other direction. Do you think we're that far apart from each other that it is all or nothing? That if you voted for somebody, you must be against me?
No, it's not like I talk to people like this all the time. Like, it don't matter who, we've created that. We've allowed them to create that atmosphere where we're hostile towards each other because of these things. They made it like a fan club, like two wrestlers in the ring. I'm a Rock fan, I'm a Steve Austin fan. And
you have attitude there, I see you.
Yeah, it's hostile. You know what I'm saying? It becomes hostile.
Well, and it's like jerseys. You got a blue jersey or red jersey, and it's all or nothing, win or loss, rather than just like, hey, my ideas might be a little bit different than yours. Who do you like more? Hey, here's a good question. Are you voting for personality, or are you voting for policy? Let's just do a raise a hand on that. Who votes for personality?
Does charisma play a factor?
Nope.
Nobody. All right, so you're voting for policies at this point. Okay, good. Are you voting for? Well, let's go to something else. How about celebrities? They like to endorse. They like to be part of the process. Do you pay attention to when they endorse? Does it mean anything to you?
No.
No.
So like we were talking about The Rock a little bit. Like is.
Now, let me say something. I hope that the brothers and sisters in here, and I hope it's not just me, how many of y'all see the line of questioning that the white dude is up here doing? Because, see, for me, that's what I call probing. It's almost like he's asking, so what do you guys think about celebrities? Are you voting for personality or policy? You heard what them brothers told him, too. They voting for policy, and they not concerned with no damn celebrity. And this is, look, see, I'm glad they did this because, see, the average foundational Black American freedman in particular, this is what we're talking about. Not them hand-picked shillbillies that they go and shuffle off in front of the camera. See, let me tell you something. Let me talk primarily to young Black people, but I think everybody listening to this can learn from this. But I want to make sure the young people catch this. Be glad that you're looking at this exercise in propaganda that you see with them trying to fluff Kamala Harris and the Democrats up. Because, see, it's showing you how when you have control of a mass media apparatus, you can manufacture any scenario that you want and make it look like somebody has a lot of support on the grassroots. But in reality, it's AstroTurf. Okay? It's not the real deal. They're getting these little hand-picked people that they paying. Look, that Tether boy, I know they're mad at her. She probably done lost her little job. They're probably going to deport her. You probably never see her again. You know the one that was talking about, I'm pretty sure y'all saw that clip. I should have had it queued up here tonight where I spilled the beans about, the Democrats paying these social media influencers, basically tethers, to sit up here and come over in our spaces and just be trolling and talking about, hey, giving them a script and put this in your own words. Oh, that's the thing about you tethers. When you do finally get to the bag or what have you, you too dumb to just keep your mouth shut. I don't know what she was thinking, but thank you, Tetherist. We already knew anyway. You just confirmed what we've been saying for years, okay? So, yeah, you know, they probably put her back on the inner tube, you know what I'm saying, and sailed her back to her homeland. But thanks for the information. We already knew it anyway. Let's let it continue.
As much sway as he has and much cachet as he has, he wouldn't. His star power doesn't sway your vote as a brother.
No.
What
about LeBron?
What about you? No. Tell me why. Tell me why you two gentlemen. Tell me why they don't sway your votes, especially like a brother like LeBron, outstanding brother in the community, does a lot of things for his people. But why wouldn't he sway your vote if he was like, yo, if he came in this barbershop and was like, yo, like, I want you to vote this way? Why wouldn't that sway you?
Now, see, this is why I got a problem with this little old Blue Street, oddly built shaped Negro right here. What kind of question is that to ask a grown black man? These are black men, not little children. And that whole upstanding brother community, nah, man, we had to twist LeBron James' arm to speak up for Tamir Rice right up there in your city. See, let me tell you something. If you hadn't got that book, $40 Million Slave, you need to get it. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if I can't speak up for my people when something happened in the place where I'm from, you murdered a black child in cold blood. He didn't want to say nothing to the black grassroots start getting on him. And every now and again, you have to get on him again and be like, hey, man, yo. And look, I get it. This is something I can't stand too. You got a lot of people that try to give these folks a pass by saying, well, they're athletes and they shouldn't have to say this or that. Let me tell you something, man. I get what you're saying to a certain extent, but then when you look back at the past, like the Muhammad Ali's, the Aretha Franklin's, even though she wasn't all out vocal, Aretha funded a lot of black grassroots stuff, especially the Black Panthers, etc. Okay, I could keep naming on and on as far as examples of the past. The point that I'm making is this whole just give them a pass when something very egregious happens to our people, or something that's a major event happens to our people, they just sit there and stay quiet. And then you got Negroes out here, well, they're athletes, they shouldn't have to say nothing. No, man, I ain't trying to hear that. Because, see, when you compare and contrast that to other groups, let's think about it. Watch this. I'm going to prove my point, because I know I got some Negroes that hear this. Oh, I don't agree with that. Cool, you don't have to. I'm going to make it hard for you to argue with this, though. When it came time for them, before they passed that Asian hate crime bill, everybody that you saw with some type of Asian lineage or ancestry was speaking up for that. Now, am I right or wrong? Recent history, come on now, talk to me. Did we or did we not see that? Every time you saw any Asian of any notoriety on the news, what were they talking about? And then you saw the results of that. So we got to stop giving some of these people outs with that, man. Yeah, we understand if it's something minor, cool. But when it's something major that affects loss of life, yeah, you need to be saying something. If you can't, that's a sad state of affairs. You think about that. I could not live, even if I was making millions and millions of dollars from them folks. You think about, let me just go be blunt with this. Think about if you the type of like a LeBron James or anybody like that. Yeah, you making buku bucks, more money than most people ever see in their lifetime, okay? But then you get your white team on tape. Look here, boy. To your face. Look here, boy, you better not say nothing about that little Tamir Rice Negro that they killed. You better not say nothing. You get out here and you dribble this ball. That's what you do, boy. Right in your face. I know you don't like it. What you gonna do? Where you gonna make this kind of money, boy? I own you. Get your black ass out there and play. Come on now. Now, a lot of you like, man, you exaggerating. Let me say something to you. You really think none of them team owners in the NFL or the NBA don't talk to them players like that behind closed doors? They're not fooling me. Why you think they're so scared to say anything? Them conversations have to have taken place. See, they'll put that tough guy front on in front of another black person, but I'm telling you right now, I know some of them have been told that to their faces. You understand? I know they have. All you got to do is look how they act. Look at the Steve Harveys and the rest of these Sambos out here, man. So, yeah, you got money, but at the end of the day, if that's you, your manhood has been stripped from you. Not even stripped. You gave it away. In this day and age, with our ancestors, all they went through for us to get here, I couldn't dishonor mine like that. You can take that money and go to hell for all I care. If I got to get it that way, I just won't have it. Let it continue.
For me, it would have to make sense to me. You would have to show me something. Why is this going to be good for my community and me as a black man? How is this going to benefit me and my people?
Not just for his word.
Not just his word.
I feel the same way.
Damn.
Like, why would I vote?
Just based on what you're telling me to do.
Just based off, like, you play basketball.
But people are so heavily influenced by people, like commercials, and that's why these people get paid millions of dollars. They get paid millions of dollars to tell you what to do, what to buy, what clothes to wear. But when it comes to voting, the buck stops for you. Yeah. That's impressive.
Salute to my good brother Project Leroy for the cash up. Now, family, I got some critique of what he just said here. This brother here with this blue streak in his head, man. Man, I don't know about y'all, but let me tell you something. Well, look, I'm an old school Gen Xer, man. Like I said, on top of being a Gen Xer, I'm a Sigma, okay? I know y'all black. He keeps saying that, but y'all got to understand we're a different breed. Let me tell you why I'm the worst person in the world to try to sell something to. Because if it's not something that I specifically want or I have a need for, I'm not going to buy it. I don't care what advertisement it is, unless it's something that I see that's going to be a benefit to me, I'm not looking at it. So, and then on top of that, when he came in there talking about, if LeBron James came in here and was talking about who to vote for, I'm like, LeBron James is his own man. I'm my own man. I don't follow behind the lead of another man at all. I tell all of you over here, even when it comes to listening to any of us out here, follow information. Don't follow people, okay? You hear me? Follow information. Don't follow people. That's some information. That's some advice that has been given to me by my grandparents, and it served me well. You take the information wherever you can find it and use it to your benefit the best way that you can. There's no following behind. See, look, I've never been a starstruck person, okay? I'm just not. And look, I've been around people, okay, and I get it. Y'all know my profession, my line of work, but I just can't be starstruck like that. Because a lot of y'all that be thinking that way, man, you meet these people and you find out, like, they just like the rest of you. They just got some more money. That's it. That's it. In some cases, man, look, I know this is going to sound cliche and it might make some people mad, but when it comes to situations like I mentioned earlier there, okay, you got all this money and then you basically handicapped with somebody telling you what you can and can't do, you become a prisoner to your lifestyle. You basically in a gilded cage. And see, for me as a man, I couldn't do it, man. I mean, look, I'm the guy, I understand, because see, I know where my personal family lineage comes from, okay? Traced it on back to the 1700s, trying to get further back than that. Let me tell you something. I would be the lion that if you caught me and threw me in a cage, every time that you come to open that cage door, when you looking for that look in my eye like I'm just defeated, and you can just open the door and I won't try to escape, I'm going to try to tear your ass limb from limb every time you open that door. Every time. If you get too close to my cage, I'm going to grab you. I got to, and I'm going to chew on something, okay? No, you can't dampen my spirit that way. The point that I'm making is there's no way that you could buy me and shackle my self-esteem and my honor like that. I couldn't let you do it. I just ain't built that way, man. And look, you might find a way to stop me from getting out the cage, but I'm going to keep trying it until I get out. Hell, one of these days, you may come there and the damn bars may be bent, okay? And then you know what I'm finna do after that. I'm just saying, man. Some of us are built different. We don't have that quit in us and we can't be bought, okay? Some of these dudes right here, man, let me tell you something. It's going to sound somewhat facetious, but some of these multi-millionaires around here that you're looking at, especially these Sambos, you are more of a man or woman than them, even if you don't have nowhere near that kind of money, because you still have your integrity and self-esteem intact. You hadn't been bought by anybody. Don't you know that some of them people envy you because they look at you and be like, damn, I can't tell nobody, but every day I have to get up and I'm basically the equivalent of a well-paid slave. But this black person or black woman or man or woman over here is free because they haven't done that yet. Don't you know they envy that? That eat them up. Watch this in case you think I don't know what I'm talking about. And I'm not saying this with any joy. I'm just saying it to make my point. Why you think so many of them get on so many types of drugs and become alcoholics the way they do and crash out? Don't you know that's a heavy burden to bear? You think about what I said. You get up every day and know that somebody disrespect you to your face. They're going to pay you well, but you got to live with that. And every day you walk around your people putting on a front. That eats you up, man. So in order to deal with that pain, you got to stay high 24/7. You got to stay drunk 24/7. And eventually you going to crash out. That's why I say, man, a lot of people talking about, man, for so much money, I'll do it. That sound cool until you have to live with the consequences of that. Let's let it continue.
Man.
Well, the other thing is, so the Republican National Convention was recently run. They could put anybody up there to speak. They chose Amber Rose. They're trying to reach a different group than they traditionally get. Did they reach your group?
Salute to the brother Quincy X for the cash out. Thank you very much, my brother.
At least not in here, right? Do you think any of your friends, are they influenced by this kind of stuff? Maybe you guys are in a different level here, but I mean, you also have friends that maybe are convinced by little stuff and they don't, think as deeply maybe, or maybe not.
No. See, that's what's surprising because the perception, especially in the community, I think a lot of people think, just like Joel was saying, that a lot of people don't respect the voters and voters' intelligence. They feel like they're gonna bring out Kid Rock, they're gonna bring out Hogan. Yeah. He gonna rip his shirt off, and you're gonna that's the kind of guy I want to vote for. But you're telling me that's not how. If y'all young whippersnappers ain't thinking like that no more, I'm very impressed because I'm thinking the youth is doomed. Y'all giving me hope. I bet you got hope.
They are trying to specifically pull.
I get he's trying to be witty and funny, but I'm gonna tell you why that rubbed me the wrong way. Him talking to them young brothers like that. Let's talk real, man. Where my young Gen Z folks, if you're listening in here, let me say something and let you know that as a Gen Xer, I see this. We're living in a time now where they telling these young people they have to have 3 times the rent on an apartment. In this economy, that's something that's unheard of to those in my generation and before that. And you gonna tell them that you impressed because you talk about they doom? No, these young people actually, stop talking to young black people like they don't have no sense. These are young adults you talking to, not children. Some of them probably have children of their own trying to figure out how they gonna make it. And you really think that any responsible black man or woman with sense is gonna be swayed by what some damn celebrity or athlete have to say when it's not anything involving their bottom line and how they gonna help better take care of their families and themselves and their community? Don't look. Let me tell y'all something. If you're an older person listening to me, don't insult these young people like that. Unless they say that out their own mouths, don't assume that that's the way they think. See, the reason why I'm stressing that amongst older people when you're talking to younger folks about serious issues, stop engaging them like you think they're stupid. No, don't do that. That's insulting somebody. You ask them what they have to say, then you shut up and listen and then take the conversation from there. That's how you do that. You can't deal with anybody in bad faith and disrespect because this generation of younger people, okay, you go there, they'll show you about some disrespect now if that's how you come at them. But see, in my case, I can speak to this. Most of the younger people that I talk to, even those that are not of my lineage and outside of this country, they deal with me in the utmost of respect. Yes, sir. No, sir. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, brother, you don't have to do all that. You know what I'm saying? I don't even have to ask for that because I lead with respect. You understand? That's what I try to do as far as it depends upon me. You know? So stop, you know what I'm saying, engaging young people like they're stupid, man. Those are young men. You might be an older man, but the way I look at it, yes, I'm an older man than the younger guys out here, but they're still men, okay? That's the common denominator between us. So I'm not going to remove that from you just because I've lived longer than you or have more experience. That doesn't mean that you less on the total pole of manhood, and unless you do something that makes me look at you that way, okay, you commit some type of egregious crime against elderly people, children, women, you know what I'm saying, other folks in the community, something like that, handicapped people. Okay, now I got to look at you different. Other than that, I give everybody an even playing field till you give me a reason, okay? So stop talking to these young folks like they don't have no sense. Let it continue.
At the appeal of like people who want this type of stuff, because why? It's a Republican National Convention. Why would you bring out Hulk Hogan? For what reason does that bring in people for your side? He's up there like running his mouth about stuff.
It's because the American people are heavily influenced by celebrities, sports, athletes, everything. And it's gotten to a point where we're like being led by them. It's scary.
The other piece is, a lot of times it's motivation, not influence, right? So they're not necessarily reaching out to the undecided voter. They want to motivate their own people as much as possible. And if this is going to motivate them, they'll take it, even if it turns off some other people. Because, I mean, I think we're fighting for this middle ground of a sliver of people that haven't decided what they're going to do yet.
Absolutely.
And so how do you find them? And that becomes the challenge. What about immigration? Immigration, is that on your radar? We'll start with you. Immigration and how it's going right now.
Yes, it's on my radar. It's not big on my radar, but it definitely is on my radar because it's affecting where I grew up at, New York City. It's affecting my family there. I serve this country. I completely believe in everything we stand on and stand for, what we were built on. We were built on immigration. But
oh, my brother, I got to stop you there. He was doing so well, okay? And this is his own thoughts, okay? Nothing against him, but no, this country was not built on immigration. It was built on the backs of my ancestors. We are not immigrants, okay? Let me see, and let me say this to any person that's listening that might take offense to that. Let me articulate this very well for you, that you can understand it, okay? When they make that statement, white folks, because that's where you mostly get it from. And I can understand why, if you're an immigrant in America, you would want to say that or adhere to that. Let me tell you why that's not the case. Before we built America, foundational Black American freedmen, there was no America to come to. My ancestors are the ones that were worked to death for free, that had to build up the infrastructure of this country. See, let me tell you something, man. Traveling from coast to coast in this country, northwest, east, south, you just stop and just think back to where you see these industrialized areas as we see them today. In fact, the business, go and do your homework. Go and look up what these towns used to look like when they were being founded. There were no paved roads. There were no roads at all. You think about looking at a place, and see, you think about, for those of us that are down here in the South, you think about any place that you see, whether you're driving alongside a highway or what have you, and you look at where there's nothing but bushes and trees. All of this place looked like that at one point. Who you think was doing all that land clearing? Who you think they had to pave the way for these roads to be built? These railroads and all of that. That was my ancestors. No, the immigrants wasn't over here building with us in the beginning. They came later. And I already know when you say railroad, people start talking about, well, the Chinese. No, you finished up part of the railroad out west after my ancestors had already done the greater majority of the work. That's what you did. You went out there with us. You didn't build a lion's share of it. You finished the tail end of something that we had already been working on. So see, that's when you know history. People can't fool you. No, this country was not built off no immigration. That's an insult that the white supremacists love to use to try to write us out of history and rewrite history, okay? But see, when you know it, nobody can play with you like that, all right? So that's why I have to go with that. But no, and then again, no disrespect to the brother. Like I said, last name Perez, he's probably Afro-Latino. They say he come from the New York area, so chances are he could be Puerto Rican or something of that nature. But no, my brother, no, this place was not built on immigration. Let's let it continue.
what we're doing right now is scary. We're allowing an unbelievable amount of undocumented people coming into this country, and we're seeing the effects of it in New York City right now, in Chicago.
Just overwhelmed.
Yeah, it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
Not only are you dealing with trying to help people who actually need help, but you're dealing with criminals coming in, gang members, everything.
Huh. On a scale of 1 to 10 then, how big of a topic is that when it comes to who you will vote for?
Right now, because it's escalated to that point.
Let me pause and take the time to say something here tonight, because I can't let this part slip, because I say this as often as I can. All my brothers in here that's listening to this broadcast, I want you to make sure that whether it's your long-term significant other or your wife, your daughters, nieces, female cousins, make sure that you are teaching these sisters how to defend themselves, because look, they're protected when they're in our prisons, but nobody's going to be in your prisons 24/7. So you need to make sure they're practicing their Second Amendment rights. Outside of that, keep something secondary on you, a good old-fashioned blade. We're talking some pepper spray or gel or whatever that it takes to defend yourself, because, see, these illegal aliens over here, these crimes they're committing, a lot of them are cowards because primarily they prey on women and children back where they're from, I know this for a fact. I've proven this to y'all many times. Okay, this isn't something that I just saying off the top of my head or because I'm biased towards a certain group of people. No, not at all. I'm looking at how they act, where they come from, showing you the crimes that they've committed, and you see what they're doing now that they're up here. Now, for the most part, they're going after the white women because that's what they've been fantasizing about. But when they're in these communities here around our sisters, you got to make sure that your people are on point. Make sure you're teaching them, brothers, that that's something we cannot drop the ball on. Don't sit here and wait until it's a situation that something happened. You need to be sitting down with your wife, your significant other, female family members. You need to be sitting down talking to them. Hey, look, these jokers are in here, okay? So our primary responsibility is to keep our people and our children safe. Let me show you what do you need to do. Do you need to be taught how to do something? Do you need me to help get you something to protect yourself? What are you prepared to do in this situation? You need to be going over things with them, okay? Don't want a few people that's going to say that. I don't care who that offends. I'm looking at what they're doing here. These people are running amok. You got them whole gangs of them taking over an apartment complex in Colorado. Let me tell you something, man. No disrespect to my brothers and sisters over there. Boy, you wouldn't try that over here in Georgia. Oh, my God. Let me tell you, boy, these Negroes over here, and we ain't got no gangs like that down here. Let me tell you something, man. We just some old school brothers that be like, oh, okay, you gonna do what? Hold up, Jorge. We finna get your mind right real quick. Down here in these southern states, all right. I would not advise that they try to come do that over here. That ain't gonna float. Let me tell you one place. Okay, it's several places, but let me tell you something. Where my brothers and sisters that are familiar with Waycross, Georgia, huh? Oh, yeah, that's going on down there. You by going towards Florida when you get down towards the cross. Boy, you go down there and try that. Yeah, go down there and try that, huh? See how that work out for you. It's several other places. Look, it's some little small towns and small places in Georgia, man, that I can name it. Y'all be like, what the hell is that? Man, it's a little old country town called Alamo, Georgia. Boy, you talk about some show enough, died in the woods, stomped down, country strong Negroes. Go down there and call yourself you finna take something over down there. Soperton, Georgia, Statesboro. Boy, y'all, I know a lot of y'all like, what are these places, man? Cause I don't even have to get started on Macon, Georgia. Savannah, Georgia. Man, boy, stop. I don't do it. Cochran, Georgia. Eastman, Georgia. Dublin, Georgia. Huh? Oh, yeah, I know my state. I know it from top to bottom. I know where my people are down here. Boy, I hope they don't try it. I really hope they don't because I already know how that's going to go. Let me tell you something. As kind as we are down here in these southern states, especially Georgia, that southern hospitality can go from 0 to 60 real quick. You ain't had a certified Old Testament ass whooping until you piss my people off down here because we go all the way in, okay? So I don't know what they got going on in Colorado. You ain't taking over no complexes or nowhere down here. I promise you that. Let's let it continue.
Where it's overflowing in these cities, it definitely plays a part in who I'm going to vote for.
So a little bit higher.
Yeah.
What about over there?
Ray, real quick, Ray. A lot of people don't know, brother, because you know, a lot of people don't know what you are, brother. You have a different perspective. You know what I mean? Like, can you tell the people at home what you are? Because you have a different perspective that a lot of people don't have.
I don't.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm a Black and Puerto Rican man. Yeah. 4 children. Married for 25 years. Born and raised in Brooklyn, New York City. Life was different for me. I grew up in the projects, very poor, waiting online for cheese and bread and stuff like that. And it was a bad situation growing up. So serving in the military, going to college, opening a business now, being a community leader, I mentor kids in middle school. I do homeless work with veterans. Like, my perspective on everything has completely shifted.
And that's my point, though, fam. That's what I'm talking about. Because people are like, why are you talking about immigration the way you are? Because you look at it from a different perspective, not just as a soldier, but as someone in that community that has seen that.
Yeah, my ex-wife is from Ecuador.
You see what I'm saying?
A lot of my family's from Dominican Republic, different places, Puerto Rico. You know, obviously.
So why aren't you like, yo, bring them all in?
Because it's not efficient for our country, in the sense of bring everybody in. I don't have a problem with bringing people in and helping them and taking care of them. But let's do it in a safe way, in a way where we can monitor everybody that's coming in. Because you don't know who's coming in. You really don't know who's coming in if they're undocumented. And then when you put in policies or situations like New York City where you're arresting people for, doing crimes, and because they're undocumented, you're just letting them go. That is a crazy, crazy situation for people in this country.
At the end of the day,
I'm so glad they talked to that brother, and I'm glad that he, said that, hey, he's Puerto Rican, okay, and black. He's a half black and Puerto Rican man. His wife is from Ecuador, what have you. So I'm glad that they asked him that question when he was talking about, well, why not just bring them all in? You heard what he said. He was like, hey, man, look, if they're going to come here, they need to be screened, basically, is what he's saying. Because you can't just let look, there's no other country on the planet where you can go pull this crap that the Biden-Harris administration has done. Because before then, we were never seeing it like this, okay? Never seen it like this in these numbers, all right? So if you're going to come here, you need to come here the right way. You need to be screened to make sure you're not some type of criminal or nobody like that. And then if you come in here, you come in here the legal way, all right? And then on top of that, I'm going to say something that's probably going to offend some people. If this country was run the way it was supposed to be, you wouldn't have people talking about, okay, well, you got to speak Spanish here or there because of this. No. When you come into our country, you speak the language of the country. We can't go to anybody else's country and say, hey, no, you need to accommodate us by speaking the language we speak. No, you got to learn their language if you're going to live there and be amongst them. That's something that needs to stop in this country. You know what I'm saying? Because most people here are not multilingual like myself and others, okay? The primary language here for the time being is English, all right? So they should have to, that should be one of the requirements. You shouldn't even be able to come up here if you can't speak proper English. I meant that. Oh, yes. I ain't talking about come here and then you learn later. Nope. You claim you want to be here, then you need to be speaking English, taking some English classes back where you from so you can come over here and be a citizen, okay? I mean, look, I told y'all, if I had to be in charge of straightening this stuff up, I already told y'all I'd get it right. I would get it right. But see, I'm glad they asked him that, and he was honest about it. He was like, hey, man, we don't know all these people because there's no way you can screen that many people. They got that CBP one out where they flying them over here, and they tried to lie about that. But see, today, the beautiful thing about having this technology at the fingertips and then combine that with the old school grassroots methods of passing things through the grapevine, everybody found out that was a lie. They knew about that because they were facilitating flying them over here. And they had to come on out with it then. But many of us went ahead and put that out there and it was like, damn, they caught us. Like, yeah, we caught you. It's treason. So I'm glad they asked them about that. Let's let it continue.
Listen, as much as it pains me, y'all going to inherit the future. You know what I mean? Y'all got me feeling optimistic, but I'm still scared.
I'm scared. I'm scared.
But no, for real though. Does that bother you? Because that's a hot button issue that they're trying to push though. They're pushing that issue every time you turn on the news. They're trying to make voters say there are crazy people coming in, there's violent people that come in, there's murderers coming in. Does that? Because you say you might not even vote. Does that affect you at all as far as where your mind might go if you do go to those ballots?
It affects my mind as far as the future. Mm-hmm. Like, where are we going and what are we heading towards? Because I'm going to piggyback off Ray. You never know who you got coming in and who you're letting in. I don't mind helping people, but I want to do it in a safe way.
Absolutely right.
Because if it gets out of hand, what's going to happen?
You're giving.
That's a responsible answer. And see, I'm going to take it a step further. This may sound cruel. I'm not for helping anybody until we get our people in the position we need to be in. Because the first order of business, just like they tell you when you're on an airplane, heaven forbid something happens, they say when that mask falls down, you put it on yourself first, and then you help other people. Black America is in the point now in this country, at this hour of our history, where we have to put the mask on ourselves first. We don't have time to be trying to help other people right now. And look, they need to figure it out where they're from, get it together, and then, hey, once we get ourselves situated, hey, maybe we could talk about helping each other, not help you and then get nothing in return. Everything from here on out, and this is something I'm going to encourage the younger generations of Black people to be about. As far as helping, make sure that it's a reciprocal relationship, okay? It can't be, okay, we help you, and then when we turn around and help you, and we need some help, you're like, I don't want to get involved in that. That's not really our problem. Oh, okay, cool, no problem. Then you don't get any more help from us. Whatever help you give us, that's the same we'll exchange for you, okay? And that's only right. That's only fair. That's blood in, blood out, all right? See, let me say this. For any younger person that probably thinks that that's harsh, Understand that anybody that has a problem with saying, hey, let's have a fair and balanced relationship, that person is looking to exploit you. You don't feel guilty about not being exploited. That's not a position we're supposed to be in as a people. Yes, we're compassionate as a people, but right now that compassion must be reserved for our own people first and foremost. We have to get us straight here first, okay? Once we get ourselves straight, then we can talk about trying to help other people. We're not at that point yet. Let's let it continue.
Money, places to stay. I've heard of veterans, homeless veterans that have gone to these hotels and these locations and asked for places to stay, and they've been turned away because they're not undocumented. You know, like, that's crazy to me that people who have served this country, like me, cannot have a place to stay, cannot get this help, the same kind of resources. It's crazy.
That's where a lot of frustration comes in. That's what I hear most of. I hear a lot of stuff like that as far as benefits being given to an undocumented person over like an American. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's when I start hearing people be like, okay, hold on, that does bother me.
So not only we have people coming into country and we're taking money and pumping it into people coming into this country, but we're also pumping money into other countries, but we're not taking care of the people here.
What's going on in Ukraine is crazy.
It's crazy.
But they're giving so much money over there, man.
But you don't have money to help anyone out here.
Like billions of dollars. Me and my wife just came back from LA, man, where I'm telling you right now, I've never seen more homeless people in Los Angeles in my life, though. And there's zero money going to them. Well, you know what I mean?
There is, but it's like how to do it and how to do it fairly, and all that is vicious.
Yes.
International politics. Like, you're into it. I want to know if you're into it. 18. Are you into international politics? With Ukraine, Gaza?
The moment that like Putin like invades, I'm like, what's
going on? Yeah.
Because like in my time, we've been close to like, what's gonna happen here? Is it gonna escalate? Is it gonna get higher? Like, with North Korea, that was a whole situation that happened.
I want y'all to make sure that you check out that site that I put in there 3 times, foreignassistance.gov. I want everybody to be familiar with that site, because it's one thing to talk about how much money is being sent outside of this country. It's another for you to actually be able to go to a site like that and see it in real time, so that when they get to talking about what they don't have for Black America, you go on that site and look at those numbers. I'm not going to even say anything. You look it up for yourself. I want to make sure that all of you have access to that site and pass that around to others. When you having discussions about what needs to be done for Black America, that will give you a frame of reference with some real-time numbers from anywhere in the world, where you can see how much money is going to these other countries and these other nations. You can say, hey, listen, if you got it for them, you're going to have it for us, especially when we starting to see you over here giving all this zero down home loan interest and all this stuff to these illegal aliens that's not even supposed to be here. Think about that. The audacity of that. You break the law to come in here and then you get rewarded for it? What's next? They're going to let them run up in banks next and just take all the money out of there? And they're like, hey, well, they're illegal aliens. We can't do anything to them. It's ridiculous. Let's let it continue.
That was the whole thing. But like with Ukraine, it's like we pledge to help them, and sometimes we do, but we also have to think about what's happening here, and also the amount of stuff that we're giving away.
Are you worried about anybody overseas? Do you worried about Russia coming over here? You worried about North Korea doing anything? You worried about any of these countries with the hostility towards Americans? Are you worried about the shores being invaded by anybody?
Not much, no.
No.
It still feels like it's out there, but we do know good versus bad are allies. We got to take care of things and be a good partner when it comes to that stuff.
Hate us, but they hate us, but they still want our help, though.
Yeah.
They hate on America, but they like, yo, can y'all come over real quick?
All right, let's get real here.
They hate us because they ain't us.
Right. That could be it. And you know what? That comes to this. As bad as some topics are, as frustrating as our world is, our country is there a country you would rather be in at this point?
Ooh.
If it's just a living, I've lived in other countries because obviously I was in the military, but just to live in, one thing in the sense of just myself. But like to raise my family and everything, I love my country. This is everything to me. I don't think people understand the luxuries we have in this country. They say freedoms, but it's more luxuries. And it's because I've been to third world countries. I've been to countries where I tell somebody something as simple as this. You and I, we brush our teeth in the morning. We can let the water run, or we can cut it off. Something as simple as that. Some people don't even have water to drink.
It's all perspective, right?
It's perspective. You know?
Yeah. Same question about, America. Is this the place you think is the best versus the rest?
Would you any place you'd rather be if you could set up shop?
Nah, I'll be right here.
All right.
Definitely, I'll be right here.
All right.
Notice I asked it like that instead of, are you proud to be an American? Now I'm going to ask that. Are you proud to be an American?
I know I am, 100% till I
I
drop.
Listen, I'm
This right here is everything to me. This and that flag, that's everything to me.
I was in the middle. I was in the middle of Paris. When I was red flag shirt. I put a target on my back, Joe D. I had a flag shirt. I was strolling by the I was walking by the Louvre, bro, and I had the shirt. My wife was like, "You are out of your mind." I'm like, "I don't give a damn. If you want to get an American today, you can get one because I am one."
Yeah. Nah, I feel you. I feel you.
All right, my fellow Americans. Then let's get into this.
We the people, Joe D.
All right. So
We are the people.
we got a new candidate, Kamala Harris. Okay.
Oh, family, it's about to get interesting now. He's finna ask about Kamami. And see, look, I can't prove it, but I'm just looking at the way they sent, he's in here, he got the black dude in here. Hey, you gonna go in here, man, so you can be my little go-between, my little liaison. I wouldn't be surprised, man, if, he was kind of working with them folks. Because, you got to understand, the Democrats, the reason why I'm saying that, and again, I might be wrong, but the reason why I'm saying that is when they're reaching out to people like Kai Cenat, you heard him out of his own mouth say that Democrats was trying to get him to do, content and supporting them or whatever on his channel since he has a large platform. Haitian, by the way, okay? Tether, because he does a lot of little goofy, disrespectful things with his little jazzy mouth. And trust me, on Patreon, I got some interesting stuff coming up about him and that I Show Speed clown. Oh, yeah, y'all know I'm going to go in. A lot of you that follow me on X, you already know where I'm going. But, yeah, I got to go there. Okay, so that's going to be coming up pretty soon on Patreon as well. Might do that tomorrow, just for the business. Just might. We'll see. But I want y'all to listen to what these brothers are about to say here, okay? Because, his line of questioning, man, it's just like go in there and see what they're thinking in the barbershop. So I'm like, how about this? This is what I would have asked him. I would say, hey, man, shoot straight with me. Are any of the Democrats paying you to come in here? Because if they are, you tell them if they want to talk to us, let them come talk to us. Huh? How you going to want to get something from me, but you don't want to even acknowledge me in public? And then, if I was in there, y'all know I'm petty. I would be like, well, Kamami, she already told black people what she wasn't going to do for us, so we need to talk about that first before you ask me for something. Can you imagine? Got the nerve to ask me for something, you're going to tell my people as a collective what you're not going to do for us. But anyway, I want y'all to listen to what they're about to say here. Let's let it continue.
Is Kamala going to make you a little more likely or less likely to vote Democrat?
Hold on, wait, first, Ray, hold on, Ray. Is Kamala black, yes or no?
I'm going to let her speak on that. But to me, no.
Oh. Is Kamala black, yes or no?
I share that same view.
Wow. Is Kamala black, yes or no?
I heard she was. I heard she's half black and half Asian.
It feel like she black when she want to be. I'm going to be honest. I'm just going to be honest.
I feel that same.
Huh?
Wow.
Yeah. She uses the black card when she have to.
Wow, it's huge. I'm just saying, I've heard this is huge.
Okay, so that's interesting. My follow-up question is, does it matter?
At this point, no. I think America's. I tell people this right now. If you really want change in this country, you would not be voting for either of the lesser of two evils. So, like, if we at that point, if we truly at that point as Americans, then we know what we need to do.
But I'm talking about this. We're debating her ethnicity.
Yeah.
Right? And we're hedging, right? Maybe. Does it matter?
It doesn't matter.
If she came out tomorrow and was like, yo, I'm black.
That don't mean nothing to me. Obama was black.
Right. Does it mean anything to you?
No.
Wow.
Now, the component missing here is, we're not just talking about if she's black or not, because that's confirmed. That woman is East Indian. Nobody's playing that game. she's not foundational Black American freedman, and neither was Obama's punk ass. See, this is why in these types of conversations like this, and look, let me tell you something. I'm with a lot of you. I understand why he picked this barbershop too, okay? And no disrespect to the Afro-Latino brother. He says he's Puerto Rican and one of his parents is Black. No disrespect to him, but it makes sense why they went in there to talk to him, because see, if they would have just talked to some regular average brothers, yeah, some of these answers would have been a bit more pressing on some of these issues. But this conversation is relevant and important nonetheless. We're going to let it continue here, and I want y'all to pay attention to some of what they say. I'm going to let it run for a good little bit before I come back and start speaking on what they're saying.
Wow.
Now, hold on. Do you think, though, let's flip it a little bit further. Does a Black candidate, maybe, even if it's 10% or 5% or maybe even more, maybe understand your background, your needs better than a candidate who's not?
If they've come from our background.
Well, so let's get away from that. Let's say it is a Black candidate.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you vote for someone who's a Black candidate over a white candidate if they have the same issues? And they're no different on the issues, but one's Black, one's white. Do you favor the Black candidate because of like those reasons? Maybe they understand my situation better, understand me better.
Yeah, are you relating to somebody more just based on if they kind of resemble what you look like? Does that inherently make you want to vote for them?
If they come from my same type of background, like
just like Ray said, like so they really gotta be they just can't be Black. They gotta
just be Black. Yeah. I'm sorry, you have to come from my background. Wow. You have to understand what it is to be poor, to fight for everything, to get where I've been through so much to get where I am today. And if you can't relate to that, why am I going to just give you my vote? Why am I going to support you?
Okay. Hold on. So a white person just comes through all of that versus a rich Black person.
That white person, if he's going through the same thing that I've gone through, he from the hood, he from the trailer parks, he from the bottom, bro, you got my vote because you understand where I come from.
That's what I always say.
Now, see, this is why I have to correct the Puerto Rican and Black brother here, okay? It's not about color, okay? It's not about how poor a person is, because that white poor person, if that's an anti-Black racist, you're not going to relate to me either. It's about what kind of policies do you have for my people. That's what we're looking at. Policy over everything. And see, bless their hearts, I understand where brothers like him that have one Black parent and then one Hispanic parent or whatever, I get where they're coming from because they can't help how they were born. But if that Black parent is an immigrant, they will tend to talk more like that. Now, in his mind, he's giving his honest opinion, okay? And I think he's speaking in good faith. But see, for those that are of my lineage, of our lineage, foundational Black American freedmen, our issues are specific, especially when it comes to these reparations and anti-Black hate crime bills. See, this is why I keep telling a lot of people, and I have some friends that are, half Black, okay, half Hispanic, love them to life, okay? I really do. But when it comes to our specific lineage issues, it can't be half and half and, trying to play the fence or misspeaking on certain things, okay? Because see, what we're talking about, we're like, no, it ain't got nothing to do with him coming from a hood or a trailer park. Yeah, you could come from that and get in there and be the biggest anti-Black racist ever and handle us more the same that we get now. So no, you can't get my vote just because you come from a background that's similar to mine. I need to see what your policies are going to be. That's what I'm looking at. I don't care what color. You could be a zebra with purple and yellow polka dot stripes. I don't care about that. I need to see these policies. See, this is where I was saying a couple of days ago when I was mentioning about us coming into the state of political maturity, where we policy over everything. Don't come to me singing. Don't come to me dancing. Don't come to me talking about nothing but policy. All that other stuff, after we get some tangible policy, then some of us might entertain, talking about that other stuff you're talking about. Now, see, for me, I'm like, hey, give me my policy. Get out my face. It's business and transaction. I'm not trying to kick it with you like that. Come back to me when we talking business, because there's still more work to be done. And see, this is what I want to encourage everybody listening to the side of my voice to start doing. We're not loyal to either political party. We are loyal to Black America first. That's who we loyal to first. It's not about party. And then let's just say one or the other does give us some tangibles. Okay, that's not going to be okay. We give you tangibles. Now you vote for us for 60 years and we don't do nothing else for you. Nope. Each year, each election cycle that comes back, all right, what you got this time? Okay, this was a good start. What you gonna give me this time to get my? You have to keep earning our vote with policies for us, just like they do with every other group that don't even vote for them. That's the insulting irony. Not to mention these illegal aliens coming over here. They're not telling them they need a commission for anything. They're not telling them they got to study anything. It's just, hey, go ahead and open up their American taxpayer checkbook and give them their tax dollars. You think about that for a minute while you listen to the rest of this conversation. Let's let it continue.
I try to tell
Blue
people,
collar.
I grew up in New York City. There was no color in the hood.
Right. Where I grew up, we didn't discuss it.
Yeah,
wasn't
it
a
was
thing.
never talked about.
It wasn't a thing. I mean,
Yeah.
and that may be a generational thing.
Yeah.
But there was a time period, I would say after civil rights and before woke, where it kind of wasn't discussed very
You know
much.
how Joe D, but race is brought to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So people bring you to race.
Yeah.
We remember when you were a kid, they knew you didn't care about your friend in the sandbox being black or white or Asian. Someone brings that to you one day, and you're like, wait, what?
Right. Well, and social media brings it to you every day.
Yeah, every day.
You know, whether you're asking for it or not. And if you're looking for it, you'll find it.
Yeah, that's race bait central right there.
Right. So
Social media?
I know. Oh, my goodness.
That's race bait central.
It is the worst. All right, so let's talk about Donald Trump.
Okay.
Is he a racist?
I'm Larry by speak before I speak on that.
All right, so hold on. You're in here.
That's a great question.
Is Donald Trump a racist?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Until I see something for myself that would paint in my mind or give me the information, the evidence, hey, he's racist, I would say yes. But currently, that man hasn't done anything or said anything that made me look at him and go, oh, he's a racist.
If you ask social media, is he a racist? Is it a little more clean?
Oh, yeah, it's clean cut.
Yeah. What's happening over there?
Now listen, what do you think? Because you know, racism, being a racist by definition is feeling your race is superior to the other race. Because I think people get racism and prejudice mixed up.
Let me go ahead and correct little old Blue Streak right here. No, racism is prejudice plus power to affect and deprive another group of resources based on the color of their skin. That's what racism is. Prejudice, or being bigoted towards someone, is having your bias, but you're not able to affect them in any overall way, their daily lives and how they go about them, and deprive them of resources based on the color of their skin. Everybody has a little bit of prejudice to them. And look, I'm going to say this. A lot of people don't like this. Some prejudice for Black Americans, that's life-saving for us when we dealing with these racists and these white supremacists here. Because, look, let me say this. For any white person or whoever's listening there, oh, I can't believe he said that. Where's the equivalent of Sonia Massey in your community? Not only you, white America, where's the equivalent of Sonia Massey in the Asian community, East Indian, Arab, Hispanic community? Where your people, where the police busting into your people's homes that have any type of mental illness or what have you, and they shooting them in the face? See, when I say that our problems are unique, I mean that, because I'm looking at not only past history, but recent history. Where's the white or Asian, Hispanic, East Indian, Arab version of Roger Forts? And by the way, I have some updates on that story that I'm going to be covering soon as well, okay? But where's the equivalent of that? Where's their community equivalent of Tamir Rice? Matrice Richardson. I'll be here naming names all night. You don't have an equivalent to that. So this is why when you start saying black, and I find that highly offensive. I do. I get it. That would be a nice sentiment, but no, there's no and. We're not in this together, because in order to imply, and see, this is something I want Black people to stop being ashamed of when it comes to that phrase. We're in this together. No, we're not. In order for us to be in this together, you got to be experiencing the same things that we are. There's no other group in this country that's experiencing the exact same things that we are. Because see, when it comes to particularly the so-called Black and Brown Alliance, hey, they got Telemundo and their own media in that nobody's sabotaging. They got a voice in the mainstream media. We don't have that outside of our little independent platforms. They don't have their politicians trying to sabotage their own people like ours, the so-called Congressional Black Caucus that advocates for everybody except for Black America. Huh? No, so we're not in it together. We have to be experiencing these same situations in the same condition. And the bottom line, the main one, we can't be in it together when we can't go and hop and classify ourselves as another race, white, okay, and hop and double dutch you East Indian 1 minute, you're Jamaican 1 minute, now you're black. No, we can't do that. We're black Americans every day, 24/7, 365, and proud of it, okay? We can't double dutch and hopscotch in and out of races like that. So no, we are not in this together. We do not have the same situation. Let's let it continue.
So do you? Because saying someone's racist, that's what everyone says. But does he do? Because a lot of people, a lot of brown skin people favor other brown skin people. Does that make them racist? But what do you think when you hear that question? Is Donald Trump racist? What's the first thought that comes in your mind?
It has been painted in the media for him, because they take sound bites of him, they take about his speeches, and they can turn them into him targeting one specific type of race in a sense like that. But like him, unless there's a defining image of him being racist, then he's racist to me.
Donald Trump racist?
This is what I don't like about the is Donald Trump racist question. Yeah, he is. We've seen his past history. We know that for a fact. But why don't you ask, isn't Joe Biden a racist? Because, see, this is why I'm wondering if the Democrats sent this white guy and this other little Blue Street clown in there. I'm wondering that because I'm like, look, man, how you going to ask about Donald Trump, even though, yes, he's done and said some racist things? But Biden has done more because he's a career politician. He has policies on the books that have harmed Black America. Since 1976, his name has been on every crime bill. Biden's law is what he called them. Okay? His words, not mine. Okay? Why wouldn't you ask that about both of them? Why is it just, okay, Trump's the only racist in there? What you mean? How you going to ask that question? See, this goes to show you how the little white guy is tone deaf and detached from being any type of person to talk to Black Americans. They really don't think that there's nothing wrong with somebody like Joe Biden coming to Black America saying, if you don't know whether you're going to vote for me or Trump, you ain't black. As if who we vote for determines anything about our genetic lineage, okay? You wouldn't go tell that to no other group of people, and then them people still actually deal with you. This is why we look at, those of us on the Black grassroots, look at these silly Democrat shillbillies amongst us, no matter your lineage, and you going to vote for him after he told you that? See, when you in your right frame of mind, you have your self-esteem about you to the point where I'm like, oh, you old bastard, on top of everything else you done, now you damn sure not going to get no support from me. You weren't going to get unless you give my people some tangible policies, but insult to injury, now I owe you one politically. That's the way I look at that. I owe you political punishment now. Oh, yeah, the more disrespectful they get, I'm like, oh, you racking up a tab, buddy. You racking up more of a tab. That's the way those of us in intelligent Black America think. So that's my issue I have with is Trump a racist question. Let's let it continue.
I think he's racist. That's my honest opinion.
Tell me why. Because I'm not saying you're wrong. We're talking.
I think he's racist because he doesn't. And I mean, that can't. He doesn't do much for us as a black, for the Black people. He don't got no respect for nobody. I just don't like the man, honestly. I think he's a joke, honestly.
This is
my opinion.
This is why we're having this conversation.
Yeah, and sometimes I just can't watch him. Like I just turn my TV off, honestly.
If you feel that you feel in your heart he don't like you as a brother, I felt like that with a person I've never met before. I'm like, if I seen a person that talks to me a certain way, I'm like, he don't like me. I'm black. He don't like me because I'm black. I felt like that my whole life was.
See, let me speak on something real quick regarding this term here, because y'all know where I'm about to go. This is what primarily, especially the men amongst us, this is what I want us to become accustomed to. When it's time to talk business, it's not about who you like and don't like. I don't care if you don't like me. I don't care about what you like and don't like. I really don't. I care about what you're going to do for my community. I ain't got to go home with you. That's Ivanka. She handling all of that. I ain't nowhere in your household. You're not coming to mine. All I care about is what you're going to do for my community. That's it. What kind of policies you got for us? I don't care about you liking me. You don't have to like me at all. I'm not looking for Any new friends? As Dr. John Henry Clark told us, we have no friends. Okay? You need a friend, you look in the mirror. There's your friend right there. Quoting the great Dr. John Henry Clark, okay? Your friends should be your family, your significant other, your children, okay? Your immediate family, your community. All right? That's what your friends should be. All right? So this talking to us, like, to me, when I hear that kind of language, and I'm not trying to beat up on the brothers, but I'm saying it here for those that are listening to this broadcast, that puts you in a childlike state. Just look at what you're hearing here. This is about serious business, and people that bringing up the word like. See, I'm quick to correct people. If we having that type of conversation, I'm like, hey, man, what we talking about like for? This isn't about like. This is about business. I don't care about like. I don't know that person personally to like or dislike them. All I care about is you're running for public office. You're going to be in the highest office in the land. What kind of policies are you going to get? Get for me and my people, okay? See, we got to move out of that. But see, I'm showing y'all something here because the black dude is following the white guy's lead. Let's just be clear. You can tell by how animated he is, okay? The thing that I'm looking at most is when it comes to dealing with us, what makes you comfortable talking to us like we're children? Because, see, that's how they see us. In their eyes, we're big, overgrown children. Because think about it. You don't see them come and talk to other groups talking about what they like and don't like. When you see them, man, engaging with other groups, they're always talking about what these people are going to get. Tangibles, policies. They ain't talking about dances, celebrities. Like the way the guy started coming there with the Jumpman shirt on. I find all that to be quite patronizing. Okay, as if you calling yourself trying to mock us. I'd be like, hey, man, if I would have been the barber, I'd be like, hey, look, check this out, bro. We can do the interview, but I'm going to need you to go and change and come into my barbershop like you got some respect for me. Go take the Jumpman shirt off, put something else on like you come to talk business, then we can have that conversation, okay? See, that's how I would have did. I'm a bit different. Let's let it continue.
Certain people. That's right.
I'm going to be brutally honest. I work for this man. I work for the Trump Park condominium. I did private security for him. And if you actually work for this man, you will see he has one of the most diverse companies you can work for. I'm talking about from Polish to Dominican to Russian, you name it, they work for him. And he treats them all well. He treated me like a king. Like, I've been around this man, you know, and he's always been good. I've watched him in New York City. Every rapper in New York City has mentioned this man for a reason. Because
now let me go ahead and go here because, see, this is something that we often have to correct those that come from dual lineages on, and sadly some of our own. Let me say this in no uncertain terms. Just because somebody gives you a job, that doesn't have a damn thing to do with whether they're racist or not. You think about this. Let's use common sense. As grown adults in here, most of this audience is black, okay? As grown adults, you think about that, okay? And I'm not beating up on the brother, but I'm trying to make a point here, okay? You think about most of these corporations in this country. Most of them are controlled by white men, okay? You really think that all of those white men that employ the different people in their company, that they're not racist just because they're willing to give somebody that's black or whatever a job? Do you see how silly that sounds when you put it in that type of context? Because, see, you have to start saying this to people like, hey, man, brother, just like Kamala going to a HBCU don't have nothing to do with her being black or not. Somebody giving you a job don't have a damn thing to do with them being racist or not, okay? So I would be like, look, that right there, I'm pretty sure that's your anecdotal experiences. I'm not going to take that away from him because that's what he experienced. But just because you think he treated you well or what have you, or you see him got diverse people working for him, he trying to get whoever could work for him that could do the job. That ain't got nothing to do with whether he's a racist or not at all. I don't care who you're talking about, whether it's Trump or anybody, okay? So I just like to engage things from a more intelligent perspective. Let's let it continue.
He does do things in the community.
It's funny you say that.
If you pay attention to his presidency, he did do stuff for historical black colleges and inner city, things like that. So, like, this is what I tell people, like, get to know the person first. Do your homework, you know?
Ray, you're making a good point. You're making a good point because things shifted because he was a celebrity everybody loved. And then when he picked a side, he ran a great campaign.
Yep.
There's more people to target that resonated with him, so he went with that. But I remember this story. Take this for what it's worth. I remember way back, years ago, way before this president stuff, there was a brother that either pushed a woman out of the way in the subway in New York, or he like fell on top of her. and protected her from getting ran over by a train, right? Like he was I think he got the key to the city, but Trump like heard about this as a black dude and gave him like a whole bunch of money.
I remember that.
But just take that for what it's worth. I just thought it was very interesting that randomly, unprovoked, he heard about the story. He just handed the brother
a lot of people
a whole
don't
bunch of
know
money.
this.
Because listen, if I don't like somebody's color, I ain't giving them no damn money.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know. A lot of people
That's
don't
kinda
know
weird to me.
that he financed a lot of the old school rappers' rap careers.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
why
just-
they mentions his name.
I'm just saying.
Now, let me speak on this because, see, look, this is the part that I don't say this with any joy, but this is why we do what we do over here in New Black Media Spaces, all right? You heard the animated guy with the blue streak in his hair talking about if I don't like somebody, I wouldn't give him a bunch of money. Then you heard the brother over there talking about, they keep talking about the rappers that mention them in songs and, oh, he financed a lot of rap guys' career. First of all, I ain't heard none of them say that, but let's just say that it's true. This is what these people don't understand about how strategic systematic white supremacy is. If I let me put it to you this way. Let me use a known former Klansman, okay? If there's any such thing as former, which I don't think there is. But David Duke, if I was David Duke, someone the likes of that, okay? I'm a white man, stomp down white supremacists, okay, on the level of a Richard Spencer, all right? I don't like you, you know I don't like you. If I'm intelligent, yeah, I'm going to use my money to get some of these Sambos on my side because then that helps hide me better. See, they don't even understand warfare using resources. Yeah, of course. If I know that that's what I am in this day and age and I see what it could cost me, yeah, I'll spend a little bit of money to, I could hate your guts. I could look at you, I can't stand your black ass, but I'm going to give you this money because you're going to help me with my image here. You think about Jerry Jones. Y'all see how I covered, what he was talking, especially during the beginning of the protests. You remember the statements he made towards the Cowboys? Telling them what they better not do and all of that? So, see, we got to get out of this mindset of just because somebody give you some money, that mean that they like you or they not racist towards you or they're not a white supremacist. White supremacists give black folks money all the time. That doesn't change what they are. And see, I'm saying this for a reason because I want the sisters particularly to listen to what I'm talking about here. You can't have the men of any group talking that naive because we're supposed to be the wall between you and the children. I can't protect you from something that I'm naive or ignorant about. This whole situation about because somebody hand you some money, that means that that's somebody that's not a racist. No, that is irresponsible and it's unwise. Be the type of black person where you be like, yeah, okay, I'm unimpressed by that. Money is money. I'll go get my own. I'm glad that you gave it to me, but that doesn't mean that you're going to buy me. That doesn't mean that I'm going to tell lies and ignore what's going on in this country. Like the Tim Scotts, okay? America is not a racist country. Them gums all over the damn place. Anyway, like I said, that's the point I wanted to make about that. Let's let it continue.
But with all that, he doesn't communicate that stuff very well at all.
Yeah, I don't feel like you. This is me as a man. I told this to him. We talk all the time. I tell him this all the time. As a man, the truth. Like I always tell people, I know my truth. I shouldn't have to explain every little thing to someone.
But you're not running for president.
Exactly. But this, my honest opinion, why Americans hate him so much. I'm gonna tell you this. You got to look in the mirror, and then you hate yourself. You know why? Because this man wakes up every day just like the rest of us, puts his shoes and his pants on, he goes to work, he comes home, says hi to his family, have dinner, then what does he do like every other American? Jump on social media and talk it.
Same thing as everybody else do.
So you hate yourself.
Check it
That's
out.
how I look at it.
Great. Should
How in the hell did he make that reach talking about you hate yourself because you not on the Trump bandwagon, okay? The Trump or Biden bandwagon, for that matter. Boy, look, and you know what? To be honest, I like to hear those who do have the dual lineage just speak, unhindered like this because it proves something. And I'm not saying this to pick on the brother. It's a case in point that we've been saying that we have different thought processes on the system of white supremacy and what it actually is. We do. So I'm all for this. Is why I keep telling you, I've been saying it for years. I don't want anybody's platform censored. That's why I have never filed a strike against nobody, never will. I don't want you censored. I want you to be free to say whatever you're going to say. So it can be out here in the public sphere, it can be critiqued, and everybody know where everybody stands. I'm talking about for white supremacists, black people, whatever. I don't want your channel taken down. I don't want you censored. I don't want you off of any social media or whatever. I want you to be free to say what you want to say so we know where everybody stands. That includes brothers like this that are from dual lineages. It proves that we just don't see it the same. We don't. Now, I don't think that this brother here, even though he's Puerto Rican and has a black parent, I don't think he's no bootlicking ass kiss or nothing like that. But his thought process is different because he's not really from our lineage like that. He's just not. And I can't say that for certain, but he said one of his parents is black, but we don't know what that means. Okay, what is he? Are you saying they black and they Jamaican, Haitian, whatever? I mean, like, I would love to know what that other black parent lineage is, or if they're an immigrant or not. Because a lot of times, especially in that New York area, when they get to talking like that, hey, for those of us that's from the soil here, foundational Black American freedom men and women, our experience is totally different. We can't afford to be naive about something that we know from history and in recent history, okay? That's dangerous for us. And see, I'm wondering about this little dude here with the little blue streak in his head. I wonder where he from, because he mighty animated. I'm like, boy, did you drink a whole bunch of coffee before you came in there, man? I don't know what you got going on. He mighty agitated, man. You in a barbershop, you supposed to be laid back and relaxed, man. He turned up in turbo mode. I just couldn't help but notice that, but maybe it's just me. Let's let it continue.
Should he put it like this? My mom always say, my daddy always say, you ain't gotta say everything.
You don't gotta say everything.
Like, so, like, if I got that piece of advice, like, damn, the president of the United States.
Yeah.
Sometimes you shouldn't just say whatever.
Yeah. And I'm not a supporter of his, but I also feel like,
yeah,
because I'm not a supporter of his, but I also feel like he's being mistreated very unfairly.
Hang on a second. I need to give him this, and you have to fill this out as well.
Okay.
All right. Here's your pen. Here's yours.
All right.
Okay. You got pens for these guys? Cool. All right.
Let's write and cut at the same time.
Write and cut.
I'm him. Let's go.
Boy, he can write and cut.
Okay.
Back to like Barbershop.
Don't show anybody else. Okay. This is your answer. All right. Here is the question. Scale of 1 to 10. How much does race impact your life on a daily basis? 1 is never. Very good. 10 is all the time. All right.
Family, I'm going to tell you what this look like to me. Y'all know what this look like to me? This look like some type of little COINTELPRO intel operation to me. Maybe I got the 10-4 Kufi on, but I'm just saying, man. I mean, come on. Am I the only one that senses that? Tell me what you think in the chat. I'm looking over here. What do y'all think? Give me a thumbs up if this looks like that to you, or if I'm reaching, give me a thumbs down. Which one is it, y'all? Because to me, this line of questioning and then you handing out stuff, okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, tell me how much this raise. I mean, these questions, it's like, look, the reason I'm saying it, I gotta be careful how I word this, okay? To me, with my background, that looks like the things that you do when you're trying to get intel to take that back and analyze it so that you can build a database. That's what that looks like to me, okay? That's about the cleanest way I can put that. That's what it looked like to me. I guess we'll see, though. Let's let it continue.
Go around the room. We'll start with you. We got a 2 right here.
Yep.
Okay. I think it's kind of self-explanatory with what you've said so far.
Yeah.
What's going on? But let me get the mic for you. What'd you write down? 7. Wow. What kind of ways? What comes to mind when I ask that question?
I think about my life in general as I've been in PA. Prior to this, I grew up in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I'm an Army brat. So when I moved up here in 2011, I've never experienced racism, because growing up in the educational system, I've always been taught that the slaves migrated up north to escape down south because they were able to be free up north. So when I get up here, I was amazed to be discriminated against in 5th grade, going on to high school and middle school.
What does discriminated against in school mean?
Now, see, that goes to show you that something that shatters the myth that we've been saying over in New Black Media Spaces, because, see, when you look back at the history of our ancestors leaving the South, they didn't leave the South to escape the racism. They left the South because there were jobs up north that were not available down south. So they went up there prepared to deal with that to get the jobs up there. Look, if you look at history, go back and look at what Dr. Martin Luther King himself said. He was like, hey, he started going to Chicago and to some of these other places. That's where he encountered racism like he never seen before. You go and look up the words of our elder there and ancestor. Huh? Look that up. See, a lot of people keep thinking that going up north was some type of escape from racism as if that was a utopia. Hell no. Just look at the dynamic when you started talking about going up north, particularly towards New York back in that time period. You had the Italians that lived over here, the Irish over here. Okay, and then they was going back and forth with them, hazing them to let them into whiteness. By the time they did and let them become cops, you see who they turned their ire on. Okay. So this whole myth about, this is another reason too why black parents, you have to educate your kids and don't leave it to this public fool system, as I call it. Educate your kids and let them know that, hey, no, there was no safe place for us to go to escape the racism. Those of us, our ancestors and elders and family members that went up north from the south, they went up there to get work, okay? That's what they were chasing. They were chasing the bag. That's what they were chasing. It wasn't to escape no racism. A lot of people get that twisted. Let's let it continue.
What that look like?
To me, it just felt like profiling. Sometimes I wasn't able to go to the bathroom. I wasn't able to do certain things that other kids that were white were doing. Get on their phones, play on their phones.
Okay.
Or just talking. I've always been singled out. I feel like in the education system.
Still happening?
No.
Okay. Wow. So I like that you gave some history to it. But right now, what would your number be in terms of today or yesterday or tomorrow? How much is it a part of your life?
I would still probably say about a 7 because I have to move a certain way being black.
No question.
Let me tell you what I don't like about this white guy. And I'm about to call his ass an agent because, see, that stuff that they wrote down, what they don't realize is that's data. What's he going to do with that data that he collected on them with that little experiment? And not to mention this footage and everything. But see, let me tell you something, man. Why are you trying to get the brother to lower the number on his experience? The man said what he said. But what do you feel about today? He meant today when he was saying that. What made you think he was talking about the past at some point in time? I mean, man, see, look, white folks, this is why we really don't want y'all coming around us talking to this. And this guy was sent. I just got to go ahead and call it. Because, I mean, it's just this line of question. This isn't casual conversation. I know what I'm looking at. I'm going to say it that way. If this was Patreon, I would say what I really want to say. I know what I'm looking at, okay? I know what I'm looking at. I'm going to let it continue, though. I want you to listen to what the brother's going to tell him here next.
To move a certain way. I have to talk a certain way. I have to be educated. I have to put on a certain kind of face and a certain kind of tone. Yeah. Because if I don't, then I'm gonna be portrayed or looked at a certain kind of way. Even before I'm already stereotyped. Oh, he's black. He could be aggressive. I work in Sam's Club at a grocery store. So people are scared to ask me where things are, scared to ask me questions. They seem real timid when they walk up to me, women, white women, grasping their purses. Like, you don't know me.
Yeah, I agree with him wholeheartedly.
All the time.
Because I deal with it as a business owner. Same things. I have to move a certain way, act a certain way, move accordingly. I've even proven it to my barbers. I've helped a gentleman open his business in Mechanicsburg, and he's been treated completely different than I have. And I actually help the community at mentorship. I help homeless people. And it's not recognized, there's no effort being put into it, but this gentleman just shows up and he's being recognized at high schools, like everything's different.
So you're saying it's a similar feel,
yeah.
You wrote it too?
Yeah. Two, because of this, because it doesn't affect me every day.
Okay.
Because I'm here, I'm focused on my business, I'm focused on the people I take care of and the people in the community. I don't have time to be worried about who look at me sometimes.
But it's still there.
It's still there.
Right,
yeah.
I got you. Let's head over here.
Did you put my brother?
I put an 8.
One step above at 7. What's your thought process? What's your experience? Why do you feel that way?
Same thing, kind of like what the gentleman said, and that's getting his haircut. Like when you're going around people, like certain women and stuff like that, grocery store, especially like my job now. I deliver pretzels in the morning from 4 to 10, and when I'm going inside offices, elevators with people that are grabbing their purses or
the purse grab, still a thing, huh?
Like that. And then I got a 5-year-old son. I think about him and what his future is gonna be like too, like with the whole race thing and everything like that. So I just make sure I do just play right.
Absolutely.
So.
Hey, you want to go?
Yeah, I put a 5. I'm right in the middle. Because I feel the same way. It's unbelievable. We were talking about different things this whole time, but the one thing we all universally agreed on was this right here. We were all shaking our heads based on what they were saying. We all shake it, and that's wild to me because we come from different places, different ages, different times. But I said a 5 just because I feel that I still have to be a certain way. For example, if I dress like this, I'm treated a certain way. But if I wear a suit, I'm treated completely different now. Call it whatever you want to call it. I've figured I'll come in with sweats, I get followed around. I come in with a 3-piece on, they think I run the place. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like, but what I'm trying to say is I'm more comfortable dressing like this. But I've realized that I have to be a little more conscious of my tone of voice, how I talk, when I talk, where I talk. I'm perceived as aggressive. I'm having a healthy conversation with one of my former employers, and I was like, I didn't agree. I was being contentious. I was talking like this, but I was being contentious.
You're a little loud,
So what's my conclusion? My conclusion is because I'm a brother. You know what I mean?
Go ahead.
For me,
Let me tell you something, man. Let me talk to you. And I was this way during my time in the military. I don't adjust my tone for nobody. When I speak, I keep enough bass in my voice that you can feel it at the bottom of your feet when I talk. I'm not changing my tone of voice to accommodate you or make you feel less threatening. I'm a man. You can't handle being talked to by a grown man, then that's not my problem. Maybe you didn't reach manhood yet. That's how I look at it. I'm not changing my tone. So I'm not trying to be aggressive with you or yelling towards you. Your issue with my tone is your problem, okay? That is something I just can't get down with that. I don't believe in changing my tone for them at all. Let it continue.
What number did you write down?
1.
Okay.
I love this.
My community, mainly Carlisle, is really what you would say like as a mixing pot of just so many different colors that we don't.
We're not saying not like that's what I feel, and I think this is the reason why. This is a big reason we're doing this story, right? Different experiences, all living in the same area, and yet politicians think, oh, we need to get the black vote. What does that mean? Everybody's the exact same? Everybody votes the exact same? Everyone feels the exact same? Even within this small group here, we got a lot of different opinions, and that's what we're trying to show right here. One thing I wanted to get into with this, even though we got an 8, a 7, and some similar experiences here, do you think that we haven't come anywhere as a country? Or do you still recognize we've come a long way, but look what's left?
We still have a lot to go. We've come a long way, but we still have a lot
Would
to
you
go.
agree would you agree people of color in the best position we've ever been in?
Today, yes.
Yeah.
I tell you, but I'm the American dream. Where I came from to where I'm at.
I really kind of wonder where the little dude with the PlayStation chain on, the blue streak in his hair, is from now, because that people of color stuff, those of our lineage, we don't refer to ourselves as no people of color. I'm going to go out on a limb, since that's Philadelphia, and say he's probably continental African. More than likely, because his animated behavior, a lot of stuff that he's saying and stuff. And I'm just saying, man, and that people of color stuff. Now, I get it. The brother that's in there in the shop, like I said, he's Puerto Rican and black. That people of color stuff, coming from somebody that's dark jet black like that, you usually only get that from people that are from immigrant backgrounds. We don't see ourselves as people of color. I don't know who you're talking about when you say that. I'm a black man. Okay, now Roland, he'll tell you, I'm a Christian, I'm a toast strudel, buffet boule master, everything but stuff for a black man. We don't play that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of really looking at dude, man. I'm like, yeah, where your family from, bro? You got a lot going on, but let's let it continue.
Today is unbelievable. I thought 18 I'd be dead, 21 I'd be dead. Then I joined the Army. I'm gonna be dead. My life expectancy in the military was 3.5 seconds. I'm here still, I'm 45, I got to raise kids. This country has given me the ability to create opportunities for myself. Definitely way better than what my dad, my grandfather, and other people before us had to go through. Definitely more opportunities, more freedom in the sense of being able to move around. but there's definitely a lot of work to be done.
Sure.
Still. Yeah.
It's never over. It's never over. But it's, we also, I think, recognize where we've come from and not dismiss that either. Both things can be true. All right. We're now to the moment of truth. We're going to ask you to say at this moment in time, if the election was today, are you voting for Trump, Harris, or nobody? And we are going to start with you. The election's today.
Nobody.
Dang.
Nobody.
They need your vote, though. They need your vote. You a brother. They need you. They want your vote.
See, and that's the thing, like, growing up, even now, it's like, people have laid down their lives for you to be able to vote. I kind of, at this point, I feel like it's being forced down my throat. I don't want to be educated about it, because then it's like, it's just so much hate. You got to pick a side.
But to your point, they laid down their lives for your right to vote, my friend. So that doesn't mean you have to vote. Well, our people died for equal footing. You got it. So now it's your choice. You don't have to vote.
Yeah.
Our, in quotes, meaning my lineage, because I'm not sure the dude over there with the blue hair and the PlayStation chain is from our lineage. Our people died for the right to be free and have a damn thing to do with a vote. Voting was a part of the toolbox that they thought was get us to that freedom. But see, those from my lineage, we correct you very quickly when we hear that. That's not why our people died, for us to have no right to vote. No, they died for us to be free. That's what their sacrifices were about, okay? Voting was just one tool in the toolbox being used at that time, okay? So, when I hear that, that irks me every time I hear it. But the young brother here, for him, he's saying the couch. He's saying the couch. And look, it would be interesting to see what their conversation was like after this guy left. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, unless this was just a slow day, you notice there's nobody coming in and out. You know what I'm saying? Unless they just say, okay, hey, look, I mean, being a barber, I couldn't see the brother turning away clients, you know what I'm saying, on an average day. He's like, hey, I'm in here until the last head get cut. You know what I'm saying? So I would have loved to know what the conversation was after this was over. But the young brother here, like many, are choosing the couch if there's no tangible policies. Let it continue.
I would point out there's some things down ballot you might want to get into as well. You can leave the top. Away, but there's your local representatives, and they kind of affect your life more directly. So you may want to consider that. All right, the election's today. You're going in there. What you doing?
I'm not voting for neither, but I wouldn't mind if Trump won. But I'm voting for Kennedy. Like, honestly, yeah.
All right. Yeah. You went the other direction. I did not give you that. That was very astute of you. If you want to go Green Party, I will allow it. For you, the election is today.
I would have to say nobody.
Wow.
Just because I haven't been paying attention at all this year, honestly. And then I know Biden just dropped, so it's not like I'm just going to go vote for Trump. Maybe if he had something that he would do or...
So it looks like they have okay, I said today's the election. It's actually not. So they have time. You're saying you're up for grabs. You could vote for someone if you were inspired to.
Yeah, if I was inspired to. There you go. There you go.
Okay. We're going to leave you blank on this. We're going to come over to you.
Today.
Neither.
So we have 4 people on the record here, and nobody is voting for Harris or Trump in this group. Wow.
Incredible stuff, man.
Wow.
Do they got time? Do they got time to get you though? It's like 100-some days.
And you said RFK is about to run, or
I'm gonna write him in. I'm gonna write him in. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind if Trump's president, but I think America needs change, and real change is not one of them.
Right.
Both dollars in like in the last.
It was actually $250 million in one.
Yeah, that's so much money, and like she's already gotten enough delegates to like be the nominee officially. But the biggest, and with Trump, I mean, he's still banking off of what happened over the weekend. Absolutely. Because like his entire platform now is on fire. Both of them are on fire right now. But the biggest thing is we have probably a continuation of Biden's policies, or we have 2 agendas that really could mess everything up that we have.
Wow.
I mean, like with 47 and then the project that is going to, if done, drastically change everything that we know as a country.
Wow.
So it's not of...
But so based on that, though, you seem like you know what you're talking about. You've done some research on it, but you're still willing to allow that to happen if it does. You're going to stand by and say, "My fellow Americans, you vote, and I will deal with the consequences either way. I'm not going to influence it."
Our system is entirely flawed as an entire
Completely
thing. Why
broken.
should we have to choose between a party that's so radicalized now and one that's so far left that you can't choose what you want to do?
That's well said, brother. Well said, man.
Yeah.
Well said.
And then
All right, hey.
every lower party doesn't even have a say in anything.
And they don't got a shot either.
Yeah. RFK Jr. had to stream himself alongside the debate and answer the questions by himself.
With a name everybody knows already. So if somebody who didn't have that, even less, right?
That's wild.
Okay. Wow. All right. Hey, this was worthy. This was important. And I really appreciate all your time and your honesty. And I think that, we're going to move the conversation forward from here because of what you guys just said and did. So I appreciate it. I thank all you guys.
No, I appreciate
all
you.
right. Hey, thanks a lot. You got time to make them voters, but hey, like I say, you have the right not to vote. That's what it's all about. Hey, good job, man. All right, folks, for all of you watching online right now, tell me in the comments what you think. What did you hear? What struck you the most? What did you disagree with the most? You're part of this conversation as well, and it's not over from here. For Off the Air, we are now off the air.
And there you have it, family. So I'm going to go ahead and deal with the last part of that. I see a lot of my astute audience in here. You caught what I caught as well, and I like to let y'all catch certain things before I make commentary on it. When he told the guy, when the Puerto Rican brother there told the guy, he was like, "Hey, look, I'm voting for RFK. I'll allow it. And then I'm going to tell you why I think both of these jokers were sent. I'll say it that way. Look at the end part of that when he said, "Good job, man. Good job, man." Now, some people could say I'm reaching, but you shook his hand, good job. Because look at how animated the dude was. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, I'm just going to be blunt. I can see them taking that little data and going right back to the FBI field office, you know what I'm saying, or the Democrats field office. And, hey, well, this is what we found out. We went to a black barbershop, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on now. Everybody saw what I just saw over here tonight. See, family, let's say it this way. When it comes to the black vote in America, understand that it's still very important because, see, they wouldn't be expending these types of resources and running around talking about the black vote, the black vote. They don't run around like that with anybody else except for us, okay? And we know why, but unless they come with some tangibles, it's couch chilling to you. You heard what them brothers were saying in there. They're like, "Hey, look, it's the couch. I'm not voting for anybody if we don't get some policies." So I hope that everybody got something from this tonight. And all I'm going to say is this. If you are over here listening to any new black media platform, you're doing your own research with the information that we give you, and you value your family and your community, you know what not to do. I don't need to tell you at this point. We've gone over the facts, chapter and verse on many platforms trying to warn our people about don't make the same mistake that was made in 2020 by putting this man in here. Because see, just think about it. If Biden wasn't in here, none of this would have happened for the last 3.5 years. Just think about that. Really stop and think about that. See, this is why you have to really take note of what happened in the past so that you don't make the same mistakes in the present and the future, okay? There's a time to get this right because, see, I'm going to tell you, if by some odd miracle Kamala does get in there, boy, you thought Biden policies were bad. You see, this woman don't have a brain in her head when it comes to actually talking about herself. She got to be basically on a leash. That's what Tim Walsh is. Somebody got to tell her what to think. She's an idiot when she's left by herself. That's why they hiding her in the media and she ain't doing no interviews. And not one policy on her website at all. She didn't even have the decency for the voter base to copy and paste Biden policies on there. Didn't even do that. I think I've said all that needs to be said tonight. So salute to everybody that contributed to the broadcast. Like I said, we're going to have more content coming up over here. Busy, busy, busy. We're going to be busy straight on up until election season. There's so much to cover over here on a range of different subjects, but we're going to keep our foot on these shillbillies' necks, and they're going to learn. If you want to get the vote from intelligent Black America, you're going to have to come with some policies. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, take care of yourselves, take care of your families, stay ready so you don't have to get ready, and I will see you all in future content. Black first.